He's back. Wake up, all you apes. We're back, we're back, we're back. We're back, we're back, we're back. Good morning. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed the Bazinga chat. I think it was cool. Again, we're just, like I said, making the community bigger and bigger and bigger. I love it. I love it. Hang on. Tap to. How do we do this? Ooh. What's today? Today is June 7th. We're looking good. AMC just coasting sideways. We're waiting for a big break one way or the other, basically. Right. Confirmation code. Sweet. All right, we are looking good. Thanks for everyone for hanging out. Did you guys enjoy the Benzinga thing? I thought it was good. I thought it was a good conversation. Some smart guys. They were excited. Um, they seem, in my personal opinion, to be kind of like the anti mainstream media vibe of like, oh, you got to invest in like fundamentally sound. That's how we do this. I mean, I think they're there to make interesting trades. Hang on one second. What is this? Sorry about that. So as you guys see with the new studio setup, uh I ordered a new camera, and when I like after the Benzinga thing, they said that my camera was shipped, and I was like, my camera's definitely not shipped. Like, I've been here. No one rang the doorbell or anything. And then so basically I'm just fighting with the USPS about like where my package is. They're like, well, someone signed for it. I was like, I didn't sign for it. I've been here. So I'm basically just arguing with the postal service that they did or didn't deliver a package. And when you're talking about like an expensive camera, you wish they would take more care of it. They're like, well, we signed for it. I was like, no one signed for it. I'm the person here right now. I didn't sign for it. So one of this is crazy, and it's not me, Mr. Postal Service person. And they're like, I don't know. And they're like, well, what's the tracking number? So I'm giving them the tracking number. They're like, it's delivered. I was like, it's not delivered, folks. It is 100% not delivered. So I don't know. Just fighting with USPS. But it might be worth it because my fighting with USPS and we're getting another breakout. 57. So if that's what I need to do, if I just need to fight with USPS all day to get this stock to run, let's do it. I'll call them right back. I'll call them right back. Whoa, what is this? We'll just fight with USPS incessantly. What is all this good jazz? So, for anyone else out there fighting with USPS on a like lost or missing package today, I'm right there with you. I am right there with you. But it's okay. They can't keep us down. I bet the hedge funds bought out USPS. They don't want me to have a new camera. They're like, we can't let his video quality get that good. USPS carrier here. With COVID, the signing process has become BS. Tell them to look up the coordinates of where it was delivered. Well, the person that just called, they said they're like, we're onto it. Let's be fair here. The person I talked to is pretty nice. Like, it was the call center person, not like the delivery person. So I'm gonna give them. They're gonna find it. I'm a naturally optimistic ape here. It's gonna work itself out. It's going to get pushed, I would assume, to, like, I was hoping to get the new camera set up today. Like, I bought the ATM switcher and everything, ATEM. Like, I was stoked about it, but, you know, everyone's just trying to do their thing. Like, I don't think it was, like, malicious. I don't know, maybe, but coordinates, that's good. Sometimes when I get an Amazon delivery, like, they take the picture, they're like, it was just delivered. And then I see the package, and it's at my neighbor's stoop. Like, I'll go out and be like, it's not here. And then I see that they put it at my neighbor's. And then it gets more weird because I go over and I just grab it. And then it looks like I'm stealing packages, even though it's my package. Not only do I sound like a crazy person, folks, but sometimes I think like it just has gone like full blown crazy in my life. Hackers made the USPS lose your package to distract you. Hey, Matt, how do you get Weeble version 3 on your desktop? I mean, it was one of the download options on Weeble's website. Your prediction was right. My wife and I love you in your earlier video was cringe. I found myself texting family so I didn't have to watch it. I'm a mailman and I have insight on your problem. I mean, I think that's what it is. It's just like something with like the Rona and signing and all that. It'll work itself out. Look at this. Look at who's printing some money now. Hey, if this is what I have to do, I'm telling you folks, if I have to fight with the delivery service on a daily basis and this gets the stock to go up, I'll do it. Package snatcher. Like, that's going to be the news article one day, is like, disgraced YouTube streamer in jail for stealing packages off neighbor's stoop. All right. This is the right here. This is the intraday high, 59.68. And then GME is also cruising. It's cruising. We're looking strong, and we have a lot of time to go until close today. We're looking good. We are looking A-okay. Man, we lost a lot of people. Hey, if you guys could do a huge assist for me just to get all the apes back in here. It's that awkward lunch hour. If we could all just hit that like, just helps with the engagement, gets the video posted in front of other people again to get back up here. I mean, I think we were rocking like 65 today, and the Bazinga thing slowed us down, but it's not going to hurt us. It's just lunch hour. If not, if you can't find that like button, that's okay. I still love you. UPS driver here, probably shipped to UPS and then they signed for it, then deliver it, called last mile delivery. USPS does local. Oh, so maybe it was like a transfer in between. Could be. But I mean, the person was nice. They're like, hey, I'll figure out what's going on. I was like, all right, thanks. I just want you to know an entire community of apes depends on you. And they're like, what did you just say? I was like, you wouldn't get it. I like to do that. Like, just like kind of that same vibe of when you're a middle schooler and you're like, get out of my room, mom. I like to do that at the end of pleasant conversations just to keep them on their toes. I find that it's never really that useful to go like full Karen on them in a conversation. Like, for any of the customer service people listening right now, I mean, you could be honest. As soon as someone goes full Karen, it makes you want to help them even less. Like, I get that. You got to be nice to people. There's this concept of like in the world that like you have to like steamroll people to like get what you want. I don't know. I think being nice and helpful and like treating other humans like humans gets you a lot farther in this world. I'm not going to argue with them. Hey, Matt, the new system sounds great. Can you give the time and temp of the ones? The time and temp on the ones. Hammer, what does that mean? Emily with the super chat. Thank you, Emily. Hannibal. It's crazy in all of our lives these days. It has happened to me. Have fun with it. Run up to a hamburger costume and say, "Robble, robble." If we get AMC to 100 today, I'll name my child's middle name that's due in December, Matt, if it's a boy. Yeah, go with like, I mean, Matthew. Like, that's my legal name. That's what my mom calls me. My mom refuses to call me Matt. It has like very biblical. Something, I don't know, it's like the God of Gods or the King of Kings or whatever that meaning is. But Matthew, that's a great middle name. It's a great first name. It's a great all three names. Matt, Maddie, Matthews. Right there. MMM. Matt, Maddie, Matthews. Not Maddie as in DDIE, as in Maddie, like MATTY. Matt, Maddie, Matthews. That could work. That could work. Someone out there who's about to have a child should commit to naming their kid that if AMC like pick a price level. And like, I want that commitment. I will I will happily sign on as godfather for you. Just tell them it was insulin in the package they lost. They always find my package in the back when I say that. It's also pronounced ATEM switcher. Love the content. Thanks. Hey, Riley, I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm gonna get rocking with the ATEM. I just so you guys know, I see AMC running. I'm trying to not acknowledge it. I don't want to spook it. I want to get this breakout and a run to the mid 60s today, and then after that 70s. Like I said in the Benzinga interview right there, things get incredibly interesting above 70, 75. It's already a high volatility stock. I think the volatility will go even more. I truly, truly do. It's just, you have some gamma squeezing, some short squeezing, some FOMO buying. It's really going to get amped up to the next level in the low 70s. All right, we're hanging out. Just so for all my audio listeners, AMC is trading at 58, which means it's up 21% on the day. GME is trading at 279. It's up 12% on the day. In terms of the Ortex data, a return of 17 million shares today. GameStop, pretty much zero. So that's Ortex. But remember, it's midday. Many things can happen between now and close. I mean, I like to see how it's kind of trending throughout the day, but I think it's way more important to see how you start the day off and to see how you end it. Like, because it's just it's a very dynamic situation during the actual trading day. That's pretty funny. Matt's package failed to deliver. I will legally change my name to Matt Kohrs if AMC gets to 69,420. Just spending $5 to tell you Matthew loosely but mostly means gift of God, gift from God. Probably shouldn't have told me that. My ego was already high enough, and now it's through the roof. Is there a good order to read the books you linked? Not really. They don't like build on top of each other. They're all like one's trading psychology, one's technical analysis. So it's like start with the one that you think like you want to learn about the most to get going. Hey Matt, I fractured my foot last week and would have gone stir crazy if it weren't for you and these apes. Thanks, Pixie. I'm sorry you're going through that. I hope your foot heals quickly. Hey Matt, in your opinion, would you buy any FSR, CCIV, ride since they all in the green, or would you wait for some type of dip? I kind of like all of those. I probably like Lords. I probably like Lucid Motors the best, CCIV out of all those. But I'm a big fan on the EV sector. I own quite a few different EV stocks in my retirement account, and also the ETF ARKQ, ARKQ, as nice exposure to the EV industry. I've never paid a YouTuber for anything before. I only started watching you on Friday. Thanks for rallying the troops. Oh, where the F are my rockets? All right, folks, you want it? Hang on. No more Mr. Nice Matt. I'm standing up. I'm working on my six pack. I don't need to hear it from the nutritionist or anything out there. I know you can make a six pack by just standing. I don't want to don't ruin my parade, but let me just get to a good height. Let me reorient it because we have this afternoon session to rock. Oh, this is why I need that camera to come because I'm like awkwardly dealing with this camera that doesn't work right now. But no more Mr. Nice Matt. We played with the hedge funds nice all morning. But now he means business. All right, so first thing we're going to do is just one gigantic cat to get us started. All right, you guys want to see some charting? I'm going to give you charting. They're like, listen, duck kid, duck man, entertain me. Show us your chart analysis. All right. La-di-da-da. All right, let's see what I can give to you today. Here is what you're going to get today. Here's what you're going to get today. The rocket. What else? What kind of technical analysis can I teach you folks about? What kind of technical analysis? All right. There was quite a bit of demand for the rockets. So if we do maybe, you know, what worked was oops. I'm going to be here for hours just to fill this screen with these. Every ape gets their own ape pod. Ape pod, ape. I wish it they made it easier. We just have like a little swarm of all the apes in our own little pod rip into the moon. Ooh, wait, I just had a good idea. How could I pull that off? Idea time. Idea time. Matt has an idea. Sound the alarms. I don't have many good ideas, but this might be one of those. Am I crafty enough? How could I make one? Oops. I want to make a big rocket out of all of these rockets. This might be my biggest endeavor yet. Why is it doing that? Here we go. Here we go. Here. Oh, this is coming together. They said it couldn't be done. They said that this kid was impossible. It's looking like more of a phallic drawing. I don't know if I should complete this picture because I don't know if it's gonna have the exact same vibe that I'm going for. I guess I'm overestimating my own abilities, but you could see how if I finish this, it could be interpreted incorrectly as not a spaceship, which is not what I'm going for. All right, might have to scrap this idea for now. I don't need YouTube to get rid of me again. How would they even ban me on that? They'd be like, it looks like you had a phallic drawing out of spaceships. Like, is that even against terms of service? All right, I just need to be more creative here. All right, what could we do? We could hit him with the Rich Greenfield drawing. That one's done well for us. The Rich Greenfield. The Rich Greenfield impalement drawing. Let's give this a whirl. We're going to have to reconsider the, whoa. I think my drawing ability got out of hand with the, all right, there's his nose. How are we going to do his hair? Where are we on Rich Boy's hair? I don't think I could put it in the background. This would be some good looking hair for Rich. Kind of looks good like that. Like kind of it's like a cool clown. What else do we have? What else do we have? TradingView needs to give us more emojis. The amount of emails I've written TradingView to tell them I need more emojis, like for my career, they just think I'm joking around. I'm like, listen, TradingView, do you know how many more people would buy this product if you had more emojis? Where is the stethoscope? All right, this is good. Why do you even think that they're like, oh, we need this? At some point, they're like, oh, we need the stethoscope. Like the fact as like a coder at some point, they're like, awaiting doctors. Hang on, what is this? They confirm Harshan awaiting doctors decision over Harshan, but it's normal. I don't know. All right, make sure you guys are sending a bit of your love to Trey. Oops. He got some of his results of the. Why is this doing that? Send a bit of love to Trey. He got some of his, like, I guess, medical results back. It's on Twitter. It's not like I'm not like doxing him or anything. He tweeted it out, but send him a bit of love. You never know what people are going through in their own life. He's going to be A-okay, but just show him that we support him. We support him. He's in our community. He's one of us. PJ Matlock tweeted AMC 80 plus soon. Atlas Trading, your opinion on that? I have not used Atlas Trading myself, so I don't think I can offer any commentary on that. But PJ Matlock calling out for 80 plus, I think that would be awesome. I strongly believe if we go to that $70, $75 mark, it's just a big old can of worms. Big old can of worms. Why do I do this? Sometimes I put on those headphones and I'm not listening to anything. Like a little fun fact about me is I put on those headphones to seem cool. Like it's just like I want to be cool. Like I want to be the cool kid. Like I want all the Gen Z viewers to be like, this Matt kid finna spit fire. He's gonna take up some extra seats. He's finna take up some extra seats. But I can't sustain that much because like I'm just not that cool. Like, you know, it's all a show. If I'm doing anything cool, if at any point in my career you're looking at me and you're like, oh wow, Matt's cool, just know that was acting and probably a healthy dose of luck. Like I've never done anything where I'm like, oh yeah, this is the cool thing. Folks, if you can't laugh at yourself, who can you laugh at? Finna, they're like, please stop saying Finna. I will pay you. All right. Is my Weeble just not updating? What's going on here? I'm not seeing any updating on my chart. There we go. Now we're back. Now we're getting those updates. The bars are moving. Matt laughs like Yoda. Is that a good or a bad thing? Sounds oddly offensive in a weird way. All right. AMC currently trading just south of 58. GME trading at 278. You can always laugh at Rich Greenfield. Your opinion on the AMC short interest report? Short interest seems to have declined a lot. Do you think we can still squeeze? Yeah, I would argue. I mean, I've been pitching that concept for a while that like the squeeze isn't a one-day thing. Like you don't know where the story you are until it's all done. But I would think that we're like closer to the start of it than the end of it, like the specific like squeeze thing. We saw somewhere the shorts cover. The name of the game is to get all the shorts to cover. The shorts cover, we see more of a gamma squeeze. We see more FOMO buying. God knows what's going on with the naked shorts. But we just need to keep applying the pressure, to get it to all crumble down. To get the short thesis to crumble, we just need to keep the pressure up. $110 more shares at 57.50. Great job, Matt. Congrats. You're so cool. Thank you. Thank you for the camera, Moon Monkey neighbor. Matt, I think you've spent too much time on your own. Oh, for sure. Like we're talking about stocks, but I'm also just like live streaming my descent into insanity. I don't think it's healthy to like share this much of your life. It's like a quasi Truman Show thing. Like this is, I don't know. It's not good mentally, like at all. But whatever. Psychologists in the future can use this as a case study, as like my tether to reality like becomes completely severed. This is what happens when you don't get enough attention as a child. You lash out in your mid-20s and share your life with tens of thousands of your closest internet friends. It's a twofer. It's a twofer. Is the news that the SEC are monitoring AMC good news for retail investors? Also, can you tell Kate Mack to keep diamond handing? Well, first of all, Kate Mack, Trev Bing 57 wants you to know to keep diamond handing. And in terms of the SEC, when I read it, it does look like the connotation is to protect retail, which is good. Wait, is GME not moving now? What's going on with my Weeble? That it's... There we go. What's going on? My chart is like getting delayed. There we go. Let's come back. Let's get 59, intraday high, 59.68. Let's set up for a nice afternoon move. There we go. There we go. Hi ho silver. No, 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 AMC. No, 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 no. Matt, do you think I should sell my dog and put the money in AMC? I know you're not a financial advisor, but what would you do? I would not sell my dog. I love my pets. Hey, Matt, got 50 shares, average 36, but when you buy more, doesn't that raise your average? Yeah, but then it also raises your potential reward if it keeps running from the moment that you bought it. For example, if you bought 5 stocks at 10 and then 5 more stocks at 15, yeah, your average is 1250, but now you have 10 stocks at 1250 instead of 5 at 10. How would the naked shorts ever have to cover if they're basically invisible? Because they still lose money, so we don't know about it. I think there's a misunderstanding about this naked short thing of like a naked short is an unreported short, but it's still a short, as in when the stock goes up, they still lose money. And at a certain point, they're going to hit their risk tolerance and have to cover it. So it's not going to be reported, but they still cover when the stock goes higher. It's not like naked shorting. They're not protected from their losses at all. It's just an unreported illegal short, but they still lose money as the stock goes higher. Oh, brother, here we go. These apes are looking to take out 59. What are your thoughts on Shiba Inu? Not the biggest fan. If I'm going to run with like a meme coin, it's going to be Doge. I'm a licensed therapist. I'll keep an eye on you and document for your later memoir. Kelly, I appreciate that. Dear Diary, today on June 7th, I took the first step into insanity. He wants to know if you would sell his dog, not yours. Would I sell his dog to buy AMC? I feel like there's a law against selling other people's dogs, but who knows? I thought there was a law against selling other people's stock, but apparently that's legal. Thanks, Matt. To the moon. What's going on, Z Trader? Matt, I can see your 6-pack coming in. You should start your own fitness channel where you stand there all day. I should. I should become a fitness influencer. Matt, how do you keep your figure? Well, on a day-to-day basis, I am over-leveraged in the stock market, which keeps my anxiety, metabolism high. I am barely get sleep because I'm riddled with anxious thoughts about what's going on both in the stock market and my social media career. And to really top it all off, I don't eat much because I'm streaming so much. I don't know if you've ever taken a nutrition class, but I'm pretty sure that's what they'll tell you to do. Here we go. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. How do you say so fit? Oh, that's my anxiety. Oh, it'd be so much more funny if it weren't true, folks. Remember that. Someone out there, they're like, I don't know if Matt's being sarcastic or if he's telling the truth. Is this part of his bit or is it a cry for help? The world may never know. Folks, I don't know. I'm flying by the seat of my pants. We take it day to day. Don't take anything I say too seriously. For dinner, bro. uh, how much money do you make buying calls? I'm new to it. I mean, you can make a lot, but like I said, like you could also lose a lot. It's a high risk asset class. Your figure comes only from eating green and red grants. Hey, man, I quit my job and you've made so much money chilling with you. I work 7 days a week. I return 22,000 on my 12/5 June 11 calls. That's disgusting. Congrats. That's so good. I have tolerated a lot, but naked dog shorting is unacceptable. Here's $5 out of my way. Matt's fitness routine: fitting this pineapple pizza in his mouth. If naked shorting is illegal, I'm confused as to why prime brokers are coming out saying that they are eliminating naked options from meme stocks. Naked options are completely different. I think some people recently have been hopping on to the like thinking naked options and naked shorting. Naked options. Okay, for example, when I was talking about selling calls before, it's a cover call. For every 100 shares you own, you can sell a call against it. That's a covered call. A naked call is if you just sold the calls. Like you could do that. So that's what a naked thing is in the world of options. It's when you don't have the underlying stock to counteract the options you just bought and or sold. Like if you sell a bunch of puts, it's a naked put if you don't have the capital to buy the shares if you need to. So naked options, very different than naked shorting. And I'm also coming to the realization that whoever made up all the terminology for the stock market world had like an unhealthy fascination with like naked people. They're like naked this, naked that, naked this. That actually reminds me of a joke. This is in no way my joke, but I think it's of the same vein of comedy of whoever named the daddy long leg. Like, how did that go? Once again, not my joke. This is currently joke theft. I need to clarify this. This is not a Matt Kohrs original. But anyway, what did scientists do? They found this like new spider thing and they're like, what should we name this? And then like some janitor in the background, he's like, why don't you call that a daddy long leg? And they're like, you okay, Greg? You need to talk about anything? Why would we ever name a spider a daddy long leg? That's an issue. Someone needs to fact check what all of these scientists name things. Like there's no rules. Like if they find it, you can name it whatever you want. Hey, Scranton, Matt, Wilkes-Barre Ape here. Warning, you salt and watermelon is a terrible lie. Don't do it. Eat pierogies instead. Daddy kink. I'm gonna name this one a daddy long leg. Like, okay, Greg. Remember how we were going out for drinks later tonight? I'm busy. Can't make it. Folks. Word at the zoo is all apes buying minimum 1 share at closing bell. AMC, this is the way. Friend's son, New York City, said hedge fund trader he knows says the market guys are hating the social media generation. Buy more. Hey Matt, could you share your thoughts on Neo? Like it. MVIS, like it. Zom, not as much. Also, great channel, helps keep the anxiety down. Isn't Daddy Longleg what they called you in high school? No. Usually they're like, I mean, they called me Matt, they called me loser, and they also said, they're like, why are you still here? We're not talking to you. I know that one's a bit more long of a name, but when they had time, that's what they called me. Like, could you please stop talking to us? Wow, telling a joke you don't own? Bro, naked joking is illegal, just FYI. Now calling Matt Laddie Dong Legs. Hey there, Matt. Can you please explain how stop loss fishing works? I've seen them throw that term around lately. Love your work. To the moon, AMC. Yeah, okay. So stop loss hunting is basically trying to get the stock to an important level. Like, let's say for some reason there's a bunch of sell orders, like stop losses at 57.50. They try to get it to 57.49, and because of that, they know it'll trigger a lot of stop losses, which would cause more selling, and they're going for like a bigger amount of capitulation. That's what stop loss hunting is getting it to an area where they think they're going to trigger a lot of stop loss orders. Look how similar these stocks look. Is it AMC? Is it GME? It doesn't matter because they look the exact same. Welcome to the stock market, folks, where prices and legality doesn't matter and we make it up as we go. How much for your Corolla? I'm up 60 grand. I need something stupid to blow my money on. Mackenzie, it's all right. You don't need to blow it on a Corolla. You could do that after the mega squeeze. In the meantime, take that money and just roll it into more stocks you like. Hi to all the new viewers and subscribers. I've been following Matt for a long time. This is completely normal. He goes off the rails at times. Please don't be concerned about his mental state. Thanks. I need to switch not a financial advisor. I need to switch my disclosure to like, this is pretty much par for the course, folks. Matty Duck Legs. Yo, Matt, when's the next time you're at Morgan's Pier? Let me get your first round, bro. All right, Morgan's Pier. Just buying at this point, no matter what the price, just buy and hodl. My mother-in-law just walked in while you were abusing the word naked and immediately walked out. Not sure how to handle this from here. Please help. Can you read off the call option contract strike for the next 2 weeks with over a... Can you read off the call option contract strike for the next 2 weeks with over 1 million open? Yeah, sure. Let's take a quick dive into the options market for AMC for the next week, you said, for June 11th. So the ones right here, if the strike price above the current stock price, that's considered to be out of the money. So in terms of out of the money ones that are an interesting squeeze candidate for like in terms of a gamma squeeze. So right here for this Friday, we have two. Remember, you multiply it by 100 because each contract is 100 shares. So that's 2.5 million at 60. We have 1.9 million at 70, 1.7 million at 73. And that's all. Hang on, let me make this bigger. We did this 1.7 million at 73, 500,000 at 80, 1.1 million at 100. 3 million at 145 for this Friday. Oh, you apes are insatiable. So basically, as we get closer, the higher we go, the more they're gonna have to hedge for. The closest one is 60, like a notable hedge point. 2.5 million at 60. The next big jump, I mean, you have 700,000 at 65, 1.9 million at 70. So there's quite a few between 70 and 73. That's another 1.7 million. And then there's a big gap. You have 1.1 million at 100, but this is hilarious. 2.9 million shares at 145 that might have to get hedged for if we get close to it. That is hilarious. For any of those out there that maybe I'm not explaining the best and confusing you, as we get closer and closer to those numbers, the market makers that sold those call options are going to have to hedge for it because they don't want to take on that much risk. The way they hedge for it is actually buying shares. So it's just another form of buying that pushes the stock higher and higher, and it quickly becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. That's why I'm monitoring. That's too many syllables. Monitoring the options market, because you could see the price levels where the velocity of like the movement might pick up because of the market makers buying. Monitoring. What was the word I couldn't say the other day? Gubernatorial. Folks, my mind lives in the world of numbers, not fancy words. All right, speaking of fancy words, what is the word of the day? New York Times word of the day. What? They didn't update it? The last one is May 28th? I want the word of the day now. May 27th was satire. Lith. Okay, so the word of the day has not updated. I'm sorry. I know I've let a lot of people down, especially the high school English teachers that tune into my show. My apologies. But it's not my fault if New York Times isn't posting the new word of the day. Word of the day is hodl. I like that. Can we talk about the way Matt says button? My OCD goes crazy when he says it. Kitten? Wait, what's wrong with button and kitten? Kitten? Like you really want me to like enunciate that, like kitten? Kitten? Button? Button? Kitten? You guys think I have unlimited time? Do you think I have time in my life to say kitten? Kitten? I can't even say it now in long form. Kitten. All right. We are making a beautiful beautiful base above 5750. Ooh. Okay. There's 46,000 of you in here. One of you has to have the answer. Dr. Disrespect, shout out. I think he's one of the best live streamers like in existence currently. How does he do such dramatic audio changes when he's streaming? Like, what kind of device does he use to mess with his voice as he's like live speaking? What piece of software is that? So I have the Scarlett. I have a Shure mic and a Scarlett 2i2. What do I have to do to make my audio like really fun? A switchboard, a streak deck. Go XLR. Okay, everyone's saying a Go XLR is like the main one I'm seeing. A stream deck, Go. Let me write these down so I don't forget it. A Go XLR. All right, all right, all right, all right. Go XLR. Elgato is just uh, a microphone, which for all my audio files out there, I think the Shure SMB7 is considered to be better than the Elgato. Wait. Oh, Elgato has a Stream Deck. Okay, hang on. I'm gonna write all these down. Go XLR Elgato, as in the cat. Go XLR Elgato Stream Deck. All right, we got to bring this to the next level. So whenever I do my Stream Deck plus, oh wait, what was that? Stream Deck plus voice mod. Stream Deck plus voice mod. Oh, this is gonna get good. We're gonna have so much fun. What do you use for your camera to connect to your computer to make sure it is live, and the software you use for editing it? So I'm using OBS, and then I also use Streamlabs for Twitch. My camera right now is a Logitech, and that's plugged directly in. But I'm switching that soon. I'm getting the Sony A7, and once I get that, I'll be using an ATEM connector to go directly in. But the software is OBS, and then when I post uploaded videos like non-live streams, I'm using Adobe Premiere to do like that type of editing. So like that intro song and that stuff, that's all in Adobe Premiere. I have a question. If all call option contracts that can possibly finish in the money equal over 500 million, how are they able to buy more of the float? Because remember, we own a lot of the float, but clearly, I mean, the fact that we've traded 250 million shares today shows you that there's a lot of freely traded shares. Whether it's because of high frequency traders, market makers, hedge funds, that I know there's a lot of apes out there who are continuing to hold, but obviously there's a certain amount of shares that are being actively traded. That's why at 130, we're at 250 million. That's a lot. What is this? TC Helicon voice levels, touch to vocal effects. Oh man, we're gonna bring this setup to the next level. Oh, this is gonna be sick. My issue now though is with the amount of gear that I'm getting that I want to buy, I need a more powerful computer, and all the computers I want right now, all of the good GPUs are like sold out. So I can't like just go easily buy like a new top tier computer. Um, this weekend when I was buying some of this audio stuff, all of those stores had a sign. They're like, please stop asking. We are sold out of GPUs. They just like don't have it. There's a huge shortage of GPUs. Reaper. Someone keeps saying Reaper. That's another good one. All right, here we go. 59. Let's take out 60. 60, 60, 60. Blame the crypto crowd. GME looking good as well. 278. All right, let's get this breakout at 59. AMC up 23% on the day. NZXT, NZXT, NZXT. SNDL, CEI, and IMP all look good for the charts. No, in terms of the marinara industry, I'm a much bigger fan of Tilray. I told you last week on Power GPU on Twitter. Yeah, so I was going around trying to decide what to buy, but like I just see everything that's sold out right now. Do you use your computer for gaming at all? If so, what games do you play? Yeah, I'm actually like really, really well known in Twitch. Um, Certain nights I'll get about like 30 or 50 viewers, and I usually am streaming balloon tower defense. When you're a monkey popping balloons, it gets me in my mindset of taking on these hedge funds. We're the monkeys, we're the apes. The balloons, in a certain way, I think metaphorically could be akin to the naked shorts, and I'm popping all the naked shorts. The exact data isn't really out there, I should say, but a lot of people have given me the name of potentially the world's most preeminent balloon tower defense streamer. I don't know if I've actually deserved that or not, but that's it's out there. A lot of people, lot of rumbling saying that maybe I have a future beyond stocks and it might be in balloon tower defense. But hey, I don't know. I don't want to get like too into my own ego and bragging about it. But let's put it this way. I've never seen an account that's had more viewers for balloon tower defense. You could also argue, Matt, you're the only one that does that. Yeah, that's fair, but it doesn't make me feel as good about myself, so I don't say it. But that's also a very fair statement. All right. No more messing around. No more balloon tower defense jokes. We're breaking out. We were 18 cents away from making a new intraday high. If naked shares aren't reported and there's no record of them existing, why would they have to buy them back? And how would anyone know how many they have to be? They would buy them back if they're like losing money still. Like they still make and lose money on naked shorts. It's not like just a pure profit thing. So if the stock goes too high, they're going to cut the naked short for a loss, and which is more buying. Like it's just another form of buying. It's no different than a normal short. We just don't know how many of them there are, but they still lose money, and they're still going to have to cut the position when they lose enough money that they hit their risk tolerance. Dominic becoming an astronaut. My husband just got into balloon tower defense and he is offended. Christina, what's going on? Well, does he stream it? He might. I mean, I'm not saying it's easy to surpass me, but if he's not streaming it, he still hasn't taken the title. Please put a balloon emoji on the graph. Tim, I don't know if there is one that I'm allowed to use, but we are about to do the clown technical pattern's about to play out, folks. This is the kind of things that they don't teach you at like Harvard Business School. They're going to sit there and they're going to yammer on about like forward-looking price to earnings ratio, like fundamental revenue growth, acquisition plays, EBITDA, like dividends, all that good stuff. But you know what they won't do? What they talk about in their little secret Wall Street teacher meeting powwows? They don't tell you about superior charting. I would argue that if I had to give my money to someone and I had the option between someone who's a perfect fundamental analyst or someone who knows how to chart, I'd pick the charting. I mean, you just don't see this high quality of charting that often, and it's a dirty little secret. Think about it this way. Why would they tell you their best tactics? Because then, like, as soon as you know it, everyone's going to use it, and then the edge in that, like, disappears. But I'm here just to shine some light on it. I love this hair. All right, we're going, folks. Oh, brother, the duck guy's at it again. He's sharing all of his charting tactics. Matt, I have a father-in-law tied in my basement thinking about cutting his kidney out and selling it and putting my profits into AMC. Thoughts? Hey, Matt, can you comment on Benzinga publishing an article earlier today on inflation data being published this week, CPI, the Fed releasing info that's not good, could drop shares 7 to 10%. In terms of the overall market, yeah, it's no surprise that we're going through an inflationary period. That's what you'll get for putting trillions of dollars into the current economy. Over the past year, we've had a policy of unlimited quantitative easing. There's not a simple way to get out of that, folks. When you're pulling, like, literally just making up money, that's what the Federal Reserve does. They go over to their computer, they type in 1, and then they add a bunch of zeros to it, and then they just hit enter, and there's new money in the economy. They're increasing the supply, which is inflation. In business, it's inflation. Or in business, you're like increasing the supply, and if the demand stays the same, the price goes down. And in the like macroeconomic sense, you're just prompting inflation. That's what you do. When there's a bunch of new money, you're inflating your own currency. And they did it in a certain attempt to keep our economy going over the past year. But now there's just like a big question of how do we get out of it? Like, there's a lot of money. And they did that in 2008 and 2009 to a much smaller degree. They, like, I think about 4 trillion new dollars were entered. And they try to fix it. Like, they try to take that money off of the market a couple of years after that. And it caused the stock market to go haywire. And they didn't know what was going on, so they just stopped. Our government and our economic leaders have not figured out how to unwind the quantitative easing that they've done. And when I say quantitative easing, I literally just mean the money that's been going into the market to get us through this most recent year. Inflation, whether it happens in a week, a month, a year, at some point, we're all like, they're just kicking this can down the road. It's a ticking time bomb of sorts. To deal with this type of inflation. Like, it'll be interesting to see how they try to unwind it. So because of that, I mean, post this AMC GME like short squeeze narrative, I think it is good to have some of your net worth in anti-inflation asset classes. For example, I'm a fan of crypto right now. I think it's worthwhile after this to take some of your money and store it in crypto, just in case the USD takes a huge hit. You don't want all of your wealth tied up in a currency that like might get really, really hit. The Fed is naked shorting the economy by printing more money. I'm a fellow software engineer. I've heard you mention you use code. I'd love to quick summary of what you like to code if you still do. I haven't really been coding in a while, just because like I'm now doing this full time. But my previous job, I was working with the like React and React Native framework to do a data collection app for the food and beverage industry. I worked in like the world of machine learning, so for like predictive modeling for the food and beverage industry. Bro, we have fiat currency in the every currency is fiat currency, pretty much at this point. Like all the government country-backed currencies are all fiat currencies. They're all essentially pinned to the trust in the US government is like what our currency. We used to be backed by gold. We used to have a backstop, but I believe Nixon took us off of that in 73, and he just kind of finished what FDR started even earlier than that. Matt, Twitter DM, start too much for this platform. Oh, like the message is too long? All right, I'll check that. Danbo88 becoming a space ape. Yo, Matt, you think I should exercise my $15 strike for this week, Thursday or Friday? I mean, if you want the shares, you can exercise it, or you could sell it, and then you could buy you could buy some shares and another option. You could buy a bunch of options. It depends on how high risk reward you want to be. Thank you for everything you do. If you ever come to Croatia, contact me. I'll pay for everything there, and you just show you the way. Love you. That would be awesome. I've heard awesome things about Croatia. Like a lot of people who end up going there. I don't think it's commonly thought to be like the #1 travel destination, but my friends and family who've been there, they say it's a beautiful country. I haven't been there myself, but I think that would be awesome. So if you have a call you bought at 2.3 and you closed it at 3.4, is your profit ACK? Your profit, it'll tell you your current profit, like whatever, like it'll have the plus or minus. Like if you're holding it until expiration, your profit is the difference. It's your intrinsic value. It's basically the current stock price, subtract the strike price, multiply it by 100. But if you want to sell it before expiration, I mean, it tells you like that's your P&L on the position. Matthew becoming an astronaut. Shout out to Matthew. Where do spiders go to look up health issues? WebMD. Tim becoming an astronaut. Cody H. Hey, Matt. I work for a computer manufacturer. I would love to try to get you a new PC. I sent you a DM on Twitter. Ooh. That'd be awesome. I would very much appreciate help in acquiring whatever high tier computer I need. Try an Amazon pre-built PC. Friend of mine just got one for decent. I've been watching your stream every day. 3 months just became an ape. Sorry it took so long. You're the best. Keep doing what you're doing. Hey, I mean, I appreciate that. I mean, I understand fully. I'm so appreciative of people going above and beyond. But for me, like, that's just the extra mile stuff. All I ask for is like, if you like what I'm doing, if you like this community, a like and a sub is all I need. That stuff is completely free. And anything beyond that, it's if you deem it necessary. When I started with this, and the way I view social media is you're willing to dedicate your time and your efforts for free content consumption. I don't put videos behind a paywall or anything like that. And you put yourself out there and you hope people like it. And that's what it is. Like, I understand fully what I signed up for. And I in no means want anyone ever to feel like they have to be a member, have to buy a super chat. That's not my goal. My goal here is to help people improve their financial situation. And I understand some of you listening right now are not in the financial situation to support me, and that's cool. I don't want you to ever do that. And some of you are, and you just don't want to. That's cool too. That's fine. When you sign up for social media, in my opinion, you're willing to put your content out for free. That's what it is. I have no expectations like beyond that of like, oh, people have to do something. No, that's so silly. I just like teaching. I like talking about this stuff. Look at the NZXT pre-built PCs. They have GPUs. I thought the NZXT was sold out, though, when I checked their website like a week ago. I do need Dominic, shout out. Matt, how does a hedge fund execute a naked short? Who pays them without verification that shares exist? So, Evan, that's a very good question. It can happen a couple different ways, but one of the most common ways is the hedge fund gets on the phone and they call up their prime broker, which is their broker, which is referred to as a prime broker. And they're like, yo, prime broker brother, would love to short AMC. And they're like, all right, it's tough to short. And they're like, well, if you want our business, you're going to help us short 1 million. And they're like, okay, cool. Take the short position. So they short it and it's on the broker. I believe they have about 2 days to actually locate these shares, but sometimes they don't find them, especially in an asset class or a stock, an asset that's considered to be hard to borrow. They might not find enough. And so from there, maybe unbeknownst to the hedge fund, they thought they might have had a legitimate short, but because then the broker never found the shares, it becomes a naked short because they were never properly borrowed. And you can short, and then there's actually a certain amount of time that brokers have to locate the shorts, which is insane. In my opinion, why not you shouldn't allow shorting unless you actively have the shares to borrow right there. There should be no time afterwards to be like, oh, okay, like maybe I'll try to find them. Like I'll do my best. To me, that's insane. You should only be able to short if they're like actively right there. There should be no leeway in between shorting and then finding. They should have been all found. And if they're not found, you shouldn't be able to short. So it's more of whether the hedge fund knows about it or not. A lot of the naked shorts we talk about comes from brokers not locating the shares. Ortex. So a net change of a return of 17 million shares. That's the current short interest is 11.8%, according to 60% of prime brokers. In terms of GameStop, net neutral, short interest of 1909. And obviously, like, I think it's a little bit more valuable, like, when we see it at the end of the day, because we still obviously have 2 hours to go for trading. Matt, I've been watching you for a few months go from a few thousand viewers to 60,000. I'm so happy for you, man. I pray for you every day. Ah, man, that means the world to me. I mean, even right now, we're rocking with 50,000 people. Shout out to all of you apes. I love it. How do you turn off your share lending on Webull? It should be in your account settings. Ooh, CNBC with a new bullish AMC article by Sarah Whitten. Shouldn't we be more upset with prime brokers than hedge funds? Prime brokers are the ones who are turning asks for shorts into FTDs. Also thought I'm buying puts on prime brokers deep out of the money when this pops. Josh, yes, I agree. I think in this entire scenario, prime brokers are kind of getting away without much heat when they should have, because they can prompt a lot of naked shorts, like shorts going from what maybe the hedge fund thought was legitimate till illegitimate. So I think they're kind of getting away a little scot-free. Also, thoughts on puts of prime brokers deep out of the money when this pops? Not necessarily. So the way this is set up, if a certain hedge fund gets out of position, like if they're become too risky, they're just going to get margin called by the prime broker. So I think the prime brokers, they're not going to let their risk get out of hand. They're going to force the hedge fund to either cover their position for a loss. Prime brokers are in the game of like not taking on much risk ever. So if they see something get too risky, they're just going to force a margin call. Eric becoming an astronaut. What exit strategy would you suggest for your position on 14K shares at 808? I mean, that's different because we all have different risk tolerance. We all have different financial goals. So I don't know like what you're going through in your own life. But for me, I run on the methodology of I will get out when the shorts cover. Can you stream the Charles Payne interview with attorney Wes Christian? They are discuss naked shorts, should be interesting. Yeah, that's tomorrow, right? I believe that's tomorrow. Shout out to Charles Payne. Making money with Charles Payne. 2 p.m. Monday to Friday. Whoa, Scooter. What is going on here? Something just happened. Something just happened. They're trying to shake someone out. They are trying to shake. What's going on here? What? So they showed, did you guys see that jump in Webull? They showed something in the 55s, and then like I guess the data took a bit to load. Now they're only showing 56. Something is going on. What could it be? What could it be? There we go. Now it loads back to 55.13. So I would assume this is one of two things. This is not shorts covering. Shorts covering pushes the stock upward. So this is one of two. This is either new shorts, because remember the utilization dropped, so it's easier to short AMC today. So someone might have just taken out, how many shares was it? 4 million. That's not that hard to get a hold of. Someone could have just taken a new 4 million share short position, or it could have been a bigger investor bailing out, like kind of similar to, remember the action when we saw Mudrick cap like covering, like it went up to 33 and then they just like hit sell and it caused it to calm down. So I would assume this is some combo of the two. It could have been a big owner getting out of a couple million, and it could have been a new short as well. But this, remember, shorts covering is a big green bar. That pushes the stock upward. AMC, GME, BBs all drop exactly on that same candle. Yeah, I mean, it could have been more of an algorithmic thing. As soon as, like, you have to understand how skillful these algorithms are. But I bet you there's algorithms who within nanoseconds, AMC leads the charge, even if it's by like a couple seconds, like portions of a second. I bet there's algorithms out there who are monitoring AMC, and whatever it does, they do the exact same on GME, BB, NOK, all of those ones to just like quickly follow. So to us, it seems the same. But if you were to look at it at, like on a tick chart, AMC leads the way, and then these other ones follow like a couple trades later. So to us, it seems the exact same, but there is an important delay. And that delay, in my opinion, is more of these like algorithmic trading things who are like, as soon as they see movement in AMC, they're doing the same thing to BB, NOK, GME, all those guys. Um, Fox positive news at 2. They dumped it right before they did it to you and Trey's right before you came on. Oh, like the 2 p.m. thing of like a coordinated. I mean, it's 1:58 right now. The timing does seem interesting. Is there any way to see these shorts being covered closer in real time? I know Ortex is about 2 days behind. I'm in Canada. If that makes a difference, love your channel. Thanks for all you do. Yeah, to know it in real time, you would like literally have to be working at the hedge fund doing it. Other than that, in terms of what I know of, it seems like the best way to do it is to patiently like have to wait those 2 days. Unless you have like insider information to these hedge funds, I'm not familiar with much more beyond that. What are we at? All right, something funky is going on right now, folks. But we're back at that support, the 55 support. Let's see if it can hold here. Ooh, I got a message from the USPS place. Sounds like everything's A-okay. So shout out. Hopefully I get the camera like tomorrow or the next day. It sounds like it got delayed by a little bit. And we're bouncing. And we're bouncing. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Discount aisle AMC. Shop now while it's hot. Shop now. Why won't you discuss your thoughts on BAM Investor? I mean, I have. I mean, I talked about it. So I brought him on earlier, and as of now, I don't. I am naturally optimistic where I think that, like, I have faith in people. There, I get that there's this whole new push about these fake apes and what's going on. I don't know. Are you folks referencing something new that happened today that I'm unaware of? Because like I'm up to date all the way up until his BAM's interview with Trey. If something new has happened since then, I'm unaware of it. I mean, I've been here streaming with you, but from my conversation with him and from the interview with Trey, I was under the impression that he's an ape. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I put my faith in someone that I shouldn't have. But as of now, it's still, we live in a world of innocent till proven guilty. Live Fox. So for me, I mean, I can't just like, remember, folks, it's innocent till proven guilty. You can't just like accuse someone of like super negative stuff without like that proof. And if it turns out that he's not an ape, okay, then he's not an ape and we move on with our lives. But even now, it's a weird world where we live in right now because there are people who are in some weird way considered to be like some of the faces of this movement who I strongly believe are against us. And like, I don't want to throw out names because I don't need that drama in my life. But I mean, I've alluded to it before. If you've listened to me long enough, you know, like I've given you my list of creators that I pay attention to, and I pay attention to them because I trust in them. If they weren't on that list before, it's because I just think they're full of it. I very much think they're full of it. Fox News, Fox Business interview. Is it starting right now or is it starting? Hang on. Let me see if I can find this. Fox Business. So I was forced into buying the CNBC Pro. Let me see if I can find the Fox Business. I might not be able to. Fox Business Live. But how would I get this? Watch TV. Yeah, I don't know if I could play this right now. Hang on. I might be able to do something. Let me see if I could get a login for this. All right. All right, I have it. So right now they're talking about Bezos as soon as it switches over to our thing. We got it ready. As soon as it comes up, we can listen to it. Innocent until proven guilty is fine, and all we can definitively approach this situation with more skepticism. Just buy and hold, ignore the noise. Exactly. If you like him or don't, does it change your game plan? The game plan is buy and hold, right? That's my game plan. I don't know what yours is, but that's mine. Matt, I heard you mention cyber attack earlier. People are trying that to BAM. Yeah, he's actually had multiple cyber attacks, and it even looks like potentially Trey did as well. All right, so I have this up just so you know, the Fox thing. We're just waiting. They're talking about oil right now. Still crude. What do we have? They're still going on about whatever. Oops. Man, this foxing. I hope he's early in this. All right, how are we looking? AMC currently at 56, up 16% on the day. GME's at 273, up 9.9% currently. I think we're all just like kind of awkwardly waiting for this interview right now. Rob, thank you for that super emote. Is it possible that Melissa Lee only got fired because of a huge allegation? Would Citadel cover that? We just don't know. Like extra shares that we're. Wait, she got fired? I don't think she was fired, was she? Melissa Lee. I don't think she was fired. I think she's still working there. Right? Am I wrong, folks? I think she's still employed. That would be, do you know how bad those optics would be if she like were fired the day after the naked short thing? Like that would be so the optics would be horrific. Honestly, after talking about that publicly, it's probably she's like untouchable, I would assume, at least for a couple weeks. Matt, what do you think about the AMC drop to 56? Uh not much. I mean, we're up 16% on the day. That's a huge win. Right now, like don't let small little red, like not that long ago we were sub 14, we were sub 12, we were sub 10. When in doubt, zoom out. The stock doesn't only go upward. We're just like kind of stumbling higher and higher. So it goes up, it takes a breather. It goes up, it takes a breather. We are up 16.5% as I'm speaking right now. That's still very, very good. It does not appear that Ortex return shares is represented in the price action from 2 days ago. EOR's metrics seem more accurate for shorts. I don't know about that one. So I get that you're referencing 2 days ago, but remember, look at what happened 2 days ago. We went from 37 up to 69. So, Chris, that could be 30, like that's a big move. I mean, we went $30. That's a huge percentage swing 2 days ago. Um, this concept of like data being more accurate, Ortex is not posting opinions. They're just posting data. They're getting data from prime brokers, and that's it. There's not like a certain layer of opinion on top of it. It's just like this is what 85% of prime brokers are reporting to us in the morning updates, and throughout the day that's what 60% of prime brokers are reporting to them. They're not putting their own like opinionated spin on it. It's just data, and then you interpret the data in whichever way you see fit. What if we vote Kohrs for CEO? That seems like a very tough job. I don't know if I would do that. Are you exiting when the legal shorts cover, or are you going to wait till the naked ones are exposed if they ever do get exposed? I would assume proportionately, as shorts cover, so will illegal illicit shorts, because they're also down on the position. It's not like they have a different risk tolerance. They happen to have an illegitimate short, but they can still lose money. So I don't know. It would be nice to get the expose of the naked shorts, the exposure of them, to know like how many there are and what's going on. I just don't know how we're going to get that data. I mean, the Adam Aaron already discussed the share recount with Trey. Like, I don't think we're going to get more information on naked shorts. Like, that was our opportunity, and it wasn't discussed or whatever happened. But like, they can only talk about like what they were able to verify, and they didn't. I just don't know what we're coming through. Hang on. Okay. West Christian, lawyer against naked short selling. Okay, they're about to go to a commercial break, and then we're starting. Okay, cool. We're ready. We are ready. Oops. All right. So as soon as it starts, I'll give you the audio and everything, but it's just a commercial right now. And should be interesting. Should be a good talk. So something happened right here. Either new shorts, a legitimate short attack that tried to do it. I mean, we are now, so short attacks are easier when the utilization is lower. It's easier to locate shorts, so it's easier to do a short attack. So now, because of the return, it's actually easier to pull off a short attack. Very, very well could have been that. It could have been maybe a whale selling a portion of their opinion, their position. I'm saying a portion because this wasn't that much volume. It was in total 9 million shares. That's not that much. The whales we know of have 20, 25, 30 million shares. So it's really not that much. It's 2 p.m. when they did it, kind of the end of the midday grind where they knew it was lower volume, so easier to move the stock. Before, someone was asking about stop loss hunting. That's exactly what they could have been right here. Their goal could have been to trip the stop losses at 57.50, and then the stop loss, like all of those triggered, and it continued to sell. All right, we're still waiting on that. So for me, Matt, are you selling calls? No, no, no. I'm buying calls. I'm long on calls. I would not sell calls right now. I don't want to limit my potential profits like that. And also because of the stop loss thing I just explained, that's also why I don't use stop losses. Right now in these volatility environments, I'd rather control when I buy and when I sell and not leave it because it's just it's too volatile. Matt, you're wrong. 2 days ago, Thursday, the price went from 64 to 51. You're talking about 4 days ago when went 99% since. No, David, look at 2 days ago was this. 1, 2. We went from 37 up to 68. 1 day ago, 2 days ago, Friday, Thursday. Thursday, we went from 37 to 69. And 3 days ago, even more. We went from 35 up to 72. All right, what is going on? So, overall, we're just waiting for this. 1 out of 10. How many of these do I have to play? I don't want to miss the lawyer interview. I think we could learn something. We're just waiting. So right now, GME is 272, and then AMC is 56. Yeah, this is just barcoding. It's indecision by stock market participants. We're literally going nowhere. We're sitting at 56 waiting for something to happen.
Brokerage firms quietly took steps to curb shorting against Reddit investor favorites. Goldman, Bank of America, Citi, and Jefferies. They all took action. In fact, Jefferies added, until further notice, Jefferies' prime brokerage will no longer offer custody on naked options. Now, here's the rub, folks. Naked shorting was made illegal after the 2008-2009 financial crisis. So the big question is, why is this still happening? Well, we're going to ask attorney advocate against naked shorting, naked short selling, Wes Christian, is with us. And Wes, just first, if you can, for the audience, people who are unfamiliar, what is naked shorting?
Well, first, Charles, thanks for having me. Naked shorting, simple version, is a seller sells stock that they don't have to a buyer who sees it in their account electronically, but it hasn't been delivered, and the buyer gives the seller money for ultimately nothing that was delivered. The simple version would be if you and I, Charles, took our car title and Xeroxed it 100 times and sold it to 100 people, and each of them paid us cash, but we only had one car. That would be a good analogy to what naked short selling is in
That's
Texas.
A very good analogy.
Simple
I like
version,
that.
We call that stealing. So that's what naked short selling is.
Okay. And that would explain how a GameStop could see 140% of the float shorted, because the same stocks were de facto borrowed or not borrowed again and again and again.
No doubt, and there's really multiple reasons for why it still exists. One is it's an enormously large problem, contrary to what some of the other financial press says. For example, in 1993,
shots fired.
The fails to deliver were probably several $1 million. By 2003, those fails to deliver in the aggregate were about $6 billion. According to Suzanne Trembass's book, Naked Shorting Greedy, which came from the source of the SEC, just in 2 weeks in July, the fails to deliver were $17 billion.
Wow.
So at the end of the day,
$17 billion in July.
That Dr. Rob Shapiro, former Undersecretary of Commerce, did many years ago. He's with Sonacon now. He did a study that showed that 500 million to 1 billion shares were not timely delivered, Charles. Now, to be fair, if you take that out 30 days, 60 days from when delivery should have occurred, that number goes to about half. But it is a systemic problem, and it's go ahead. Sorry.
So no, because I don't want to run out of time, and I've got a couple of other things. Hedge funds, we know, are big culprits. I mean, what's going to happen here? I guess let's cut to the chase. Will we see the SEC, will we see whoever's in charge take action on something that's happening? It's deemed illegal. It's harmful to the market. Will someone take action on behalf of individual investors?
I think we're seeing a sea change. The reality is, who's really doing most of this from where I sit? And if you look at the regulatory actions at SEC.gov and FINRA, it's really the prime brokers. The reality is
that's
that
what
there
I've
are
been
some
saying.
hedge
Prime
funds,
brokers.
but it's the prop desk of the prime brokers who are doing the naked shorting from where I sit.
Exactly.
Or
that's what we were
makers.
talking about.
And so ultimately, they've got to be looked at. And the SEC has fined a bunch of them for mismarking tickets long when they're short, really, for pre-programming computers to say easy, hard to borrow stocks, easy to borrow. But ultimately, there's a movement and a sea change about, not only because of the litigation we've done for 20 years with our whole legal consortium, but because of these the Reddit groups and the subreddit groups, and frankly, more awareness being brought to this topic. Hopefully, also with the new SEC chairman, that I'm hopeful will do something more than what's been done to date.
Yeah. Gensler has made comments that gives me hope as well. Everyone knows the problem. We know it's all about money. It's all about Wall Street making money at the expense of an honest stock market, and that's why a lot of individual investors have shunned the market, and once they've gotten in, they become victimized by this. Wes, I wish we had more time. We don't. Congratulations, though. You've got a lot of people out there looking up to you and hoping that you can continue that 20 years worth of work. I think we're right at the finish line. Joining me now, author of The War on Small Business.
Hang on, new
All right, so
person.
first, Charles, a recovering investment banker, not quite former investment banker. It's like a 12-step process. As Wes mentioned, the practice of naked shorting is illegal. It has been so since the last Great Recession financial crisis. But like all of our regulation, there's always loopholes, and the loopholes relate to making markets. And there can be an argument that it makes sense for market makers to have more flexibility for liquidity. But then they need to act responsibly. If you're looking at a derivative product as a hedge, that makes sense. But when the derivative product starts to exceed, the market for that starts to exceed the underlying product it's trying to hedge against, it's no longer a hedge. It is straight up gambling, and that should not be allowed. And frankly, that's why the last financial crisis was so bad, because the same thing happened with credit default swaps that made that market so much larger than the
When the
underlying
derivative
mortgage
market, that's interesting. The
So,
derivative
so
market's
and
bigger.
you always want to bring up, and I'll let you do that now, that there is a distinction between legal shorting and this naked shorting, right?
Yeah, I think that because this is so complex, a lot of these terms get convoluted. And so while naked shorting is a bad thing and it's a discussion around derivatives, we don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. We don't want to say that all short sellers are bad, because they provide an important function. They uncover information in the market about broken businesses and sometimes fraud. And certainly not every single short seller does that. But if you look at somebody like Carson Block of Muddy Waters, who published that anonymous paper that exposed the Lucan coffee fraud when everyone was touting it as the next Starbucks, we want to incentivize people to continue to do that.
I like that.
And it's
That's
a really
good
hard
reasoning.
job, because not only do you have to be right, but your timing has to be right, and you've got a lot of money at stake. So it's important to distinguish from that function versus naked shorting.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing to distinction, right, to be able to find those things, and another to be the weapon to bludgeon these stocks. On Friday, Bill Ackman's SPAC got clobbered. It was just the latest SPAC to get crushed. There's also a class action lawsuit out against Virgin Galactic. And the reason I'm bringing this up, Carol, Wall Street, they get to call individual investors the dumb money, and yet they get to make billions of dollars on all kinds of dubious investments. You just brought up some before. And I just think it bothers me that there's this sort of, if you buy certain stocks, you're dumb. If you buy our products and they go straight down, well, it's okay.
Yeah, they use the pejorative term dumb money, because if they called them people who weren't in the know or weren't on the inside, then the entire game would be exposed, right? I mean, it's no secret that Main Street has been sold out to Wall Street by the Fed, by the government, for more than a decade now, and it continues at an accelerating pace. And people are mad, and they should be mad. And even if they don't understand the underlying mechanism, it's clear that there are advantages, whether it's small business versus big business, whether it's retail investor versus the insider. If you are not on the inside, we don't have a free and fair market. We need to get back to free market capitalism, where the game isn't being tilted in the direction of the big people who have the power and the control.
Yeah, you would think in a battle between David and Goliath, it would be enough just to be Goliath, but also to be able to have the rules in your favor and to change them mid-game. That's a tough one. Carol, always appreciate these conversations. We'll talk again soon. Well, Douglas Holt-Aiken is on what does free money do.
Wow. Lots to unpack there, but man, Carol Roth, can I find her? She was just spitting fire, folks. What? My ears are still hot. Carol Roth, can I find her? Oh wait, is this her? I found follow. Man, she's awesome. All right. There, I need to tweet this out. Carol. Was just spitting. If you missed it, I was just spitting fire with Charles Payne on. Wow, that was impressive. She's a baller. That was what she. I don't know. She just said what a lot of us are thinking. It is, man. Main Street has been sold out to Wall Street. If you're not on the in club, you can't play with us. If you're not on the in club, you're stupid. You're not allowed to make money. If you ruin the game for us, we're going to call you dumb. We're going to accuse you of doing something illegal and illicit. And she just put better articulation to it. She crushed it. That's what it is. Main Street has been sold out to Wall Street. It's not, and like, they'll argue it's some, I guess, bastardized version of capitalism, and it's not. This is not free market capitalism. That's like, but in America, that's like how we're pitched it. I'm not coming out about capitalism. I like capitalism. I do. I'm arguing that what we're seeing right now is not free market capitalism. It's the in club getting richer and richer, and whatever. I don't care. I'm not looking in another man's pockets. I don't care if people are making money. I care if they're making money at the nefarious, illegal, and illicit detriment of others. That's where I care. That is theft. That's stealing. That's not them making a good play, betting on a winning company, betting against a really weak, crappy company. That's not what it is. They are manufacturing these moves upward and downwards, and that is not the free market. It's just not. And they try to hide behind it of like, oh, no. This is the free market. We're allowed to do it. No. What you're doing is that's manipulation. I don't understand. And all the times we throw these words out there, when you have concerted efforts to skyrocket a company or to crumble a company, what else do I need for manipulation? Like, I just don't get it. Like, how is that not throwing off every red flag in SEC, FINRA, or any of that stuff? How is it not? I'm a fellow YouTuber, quite smaller, been following Clove for a while, has a 44% short interest and prime to explode here soon. I mean, it looks like Clove went up quite a bit today, and there's a lot of action on Clove's market. Did I make Robinhood news again? AMC GameStop and the Apes. Matt Kohrs joins Power Hour to talk about how we arrived here. That's sick. Matt, you're on Weeble News for AMC. That's awesome. You're on Weeble News. Let's see. Let's read it. Let's toot my own horn. Right there. There's your boy. You're seeing it live. You're seeing the creator's live reaction to his own Frankenstein monster. AMC GameStop and the Apes. Matt Kohrs joins Power Hour to talk about how we arrived here. Do they have any of my quotes? Any of my quotes? Sometimes I just talk. I start a sentence and I don't even know where I'm going with it. I find it along the way. Is that what Michael Scott said? There are millions of retail investors interested in the stock, but there are also hundreds of thousands of legitimate apes who, no matter what happens, are going to keep diamond handing. Love it. See, that's good media. Like, unlike CNBC, they intentionally used Trey's words against him. They really did. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. CNBC, if you're listening right now, you know what you did is scummy. I don't care. I don't care if I'm going to ruin my chances to talking with you or anything. You know what you did, CNBC, to Trey was scummy. You hounded him to get out a fundamental value, and then you knew you preemptively planned that. You asked so many times for him to throw out a fundamental value, and then you knew you were using that in a headline to act as if one of the people who's been leading this effort is now against the effort. That is... It's not illegal, but it's super immoral. And then you have other people who, such as Benzinga, who I spoke to, and they put it properly in context. They filmed the whole thing so you can see the whole thing. That's real reporting. That's real journalism, is when you are sharing the story without your own bias. I don't understand at what point, maybe I'm too young But I don't understand at what point in the US especially, media went from, hey, this is what's going on, to, hey, this is what's going on if our investors aren't like it, if our benefactors are happy with what we're saying. That reporting across the board, I'm not even specifically commenting, well, I am specifically commenting on this saga with AMC and the APES and GameStop and everything. But like, we even saw that recently in like the last political cycle. It doesn't matter. Like, the truth in reporting is so far down their laundry list of things that they care about. And it's sad. Like, I just guess moving forward is like, I feel like we're uncovering one stone of like this like naked shorting thing going on right now and this illegal illicit thing. And you turn over that stone and you just see like an entire mountain of shitty things going on. And it sucks. And like, to fix all of these crappy stones, like you have to unturn one, fix that problem, go on to the next one. And the fact that like, there's even some weird perception that me, a 26-year-old in my basement on YouTube, is like shedding light on it. Like, that just shows how, I guess, unfortunately out of reach things have gotten, is when like I am more so viewed as a person at least attempting to go for truth. I'm not saying I get things perfect, but like the fact that there's this perception that someone like myself, someone like Trey, someone like Charles Payne, well, I guess Charles Payne is like a national media, but like I'm saying on this smaller scale of like, people are like, no, I like this person more than national media. Do you know how much distrust there is in our whole system for this to even become a reality? The fact that there's 58,000 people watching me right now say this, like, what in the world is going on? Like, this, it's just so crazy. Like, the fact that we have to fight so much day in and day out just to get like a little bit of truth and a little bit of legitimacy. Like, how is that system sustainable? Like, I don't know. People are doing whatever they can for $1. It doesn't matter what they possibly do to our political system, our economic system, or even really the fabric of just like our cultural society. They don't care if they're ripping that all apart. All they care about is, did it make me money? They don't care if they sold out their morals at all. Like, the thing I thought about when Trey did his talk with CNBC, on that side, how did Sorkin possibly sleep at night? How did he go to bed that night as a human being, knowing what he did the night before, of knowing like, you know what? Trey's 23. I'm going to trick this 23-year-old into saying something so I can use it against him on national TV. It wasn't an honest comment. It was a duplicitous action. And that's our national news. People engaging in duplicity just for what? Some viewership, to sell some ads? Like, what? That's insane. I just don't get it. All right. I'm going to get pissed off. Let's just go back to more of the fun, Matt. Let's go make jokes about myself. It's just so frustrating. Back to jokes. We got to calm down. I'm going to just get angry. All right, let's make jokes. Let's make more daddy long leg jokes. How was Matt's live stream today, honey? Well, at one point he was talking about daddy long legs, and the other point he was talking about how the U.S. fabric of society is built on a house of cards that is literally pay for play by national media. So it was a jarring day for Matt Kohrs. Very jarring. Whatever. Clip it, ship it. Read super chats. Okay. Matt, go ape shit. Have a Snickers. You're not yourself when you're hungry. Probably not. Matt's about to go ape. All right, Matt. Several seats, please. Totally agree. Thanks, Wes. Carol, Charles, Trey, and especially Matt for looking out for the little guys. We appreciate you. CNBC equals scum. Fox was fair. Really, thank you. The AMC and GME chart looks almost mirrors of each other. Often, why? They're just being thought of as the exact same play. It's the same psychology. It's the same people watching both of these stocks. The way we're watching both, people are making the same decisions at the same point in time. Sorkin went to bed to Ken Griffin wearing their naked shorts. That's how he slept. Meet Matt. You missed my super chat. My apologies. Truth. Thanks, Matt. Media bias began after Nixon when the GOP lost their narrative with facts-based news. FCC fairness doctrine was repealed in '87. Now we are here. So I've read a little bit about this, the fairness doctrine in '87, where basically it just said you like no longer have to be unbiased. They're like, yeah, screw it, we don't care, be as biased as you want. And it's led to like, it doesn't seem healthy. It's one thing for like a yearly revenue perspective, it's one thing for a decade perspective, but like how do we function as a society, even as a global society, when you can't even trust your news? Like that's, and I get it. Like, do you know how many echo chambers we all live in? I'm in an echo chamber. I'm in an echo chamber right now. There are 56,000 apes in here. Of course, social media has created so many echo chambers where their algorithms are so incredibly advanced. You hear and see what you want to hear and what you want to see. That's how it is. Across any spectrum, that's how advanced these social media algorithms are. There's a very good chance that you were served me today and you're watching this video because we have a similar opinion on a stock of common interest, and that's it. So it's served to me. That's all it is. It's just like force feeding us what you already think. There's no contrarian ideas. No one fights about it. Like you just sit there and you're like, okay, this is it. Everyone thinks the exact same thing I think. So that's a whole nother issue. And that's the world I'm in. I'm from the engineering software world of how do we make our apps better? How do we make them more addictive? The issue is they've gotten so good at it that they've really pulled it off. Damn it, Matt. Now I have a crush on Carol Roth. Take my money. Thomas Jefferson ran for president to promote his newspaper. The media thing has been going on since the US started. It's just faster now. Yeah, I mean, whenever it happens at a incredible rate now because of technology. Like the dispersion of news takes seconds. Hey, Matt, do you follow Lou? I do not. You should get Carol Roth on here for an interview. That would actually be sick. Should we just get Wes Christian and Carol Roth on? Like, we'll just do a big powwow. How much XRP and BB do you have? Hi from Maine. At this moment in time, I have none. I do want to buy some XRP, and BB might be interesting, but for me, I'm more focused on AMC and GME, and by the time these two are over, I would assume BB will follow a similar path. But post the squeeze, I definitely, I mean, I've been studying more about Ripple. I'm interested in it. I don't own any now, and I have nothing bad to really say about it. I think it has a lot of potential, especially to my understanding of how the lawsuit's currently going. It sounds like it's kind of going in their favor. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Wayne Gretzky, Michael Scott, Matt Kohrs. It's crazy is that a couple months ago, you never thought Meet Kevin or Andre would respond to you, and now you and Trey are all over the news and blowing up. That's insane. So Trey and I had a similar come up, like just roughly similar. Before I started a YouTube, I very, very much looked up to those financial content creators, Andre, Meet Kevin, Financial Education, Graham Stephan. Like those are the four guys. Like they're huge. And the fact that not that long after I made my channel, I like legitimately spoke with Meet Kevin. I spoke with Andre. Like, I hope one of these days I can speak with Graham Stephan. I very, very much respect him. I love his content. I think he's done awesome things for the YouTube finance space. He's like kind of the guy. Same thing with Jeremy from Financial Education 1, 2, and 3. Now he has a lot of channels. I mean, I looked up to those guys. And what's crazy is I know they say don't meet your heroes, but in my private conversations with Meet Kevin and Andre Jick, like those are the two I've spoken with privately. Like, I don't know. Like, I respect them even more as like humans beyond content creators. Talking to them privately, they've given me advice and they don't have to. I'm so much smaller than them. Why would they waste any time? But they're so nice. Like, they don't have that, like, that vibe of better than or anything like that. Like, they're just awesome guys. They gave me awesome advice. They make awesome like, I was more impressed. And that's like, I guess the risk reward of meeting someone you look up to is like sometimes like your mental image of them gets like stomped on right away. But fortunately with those two, those are the two I've spoken to, and I was like, wow, I like them even more now. I explain naked shorts to my friends and fam as just a string tied around your waist. Did you hear that Virgin Galactic SPC had their first flight into orbit? Yes. Good news for them. What do you think when interest rates rise, stock market goes down? Typically is a correlation. Prime broker computers are equivalent to voting machines. Both you can't discuss on media, and you're accused of wearing a tinfoil hat by those who are deflecting. Change my mind. From Trace Subway Cup. Webull is paying interest without asking for consent. I asked them to turn off. I hope they grant my request right away. You can turn it off in your own settings. The loaning program, it's in your account settings on Webull. You can turn off your own share lending program. It's the share lending program. I have mine turned off. You are on Robinhood News. You are on a Webull News. Ever notice how Charles Payne is on our side? Yeah, I mean, the dude, he's very much in this fight with us. Like, I respect Charles Payne. Like, that's another guy. What? If you asked me 3 weeks ago if I thought I would be able to talk to Charles Payne on making money on national news, what? I mean, I didn't believe that a week ago. Like, this whole thing has just gone crazy. Get rid of the Gregs, get moderators to help you out. We have a ton of amazing moderators. They go above and beyond on a daily basis. Shout out to the mods, keeping the zoo a little bit intact. AMC action is inverse Tesla. Could there be Tesla? Tesla's in a weird point because they just missed on deliveries, but then they announced potential like I don't know. Tesla's in a weird position. I don't know if Tesla's going to have much correlation to AMC and GME at this moment. Matt, Charles Schwab sold 21 shares without my authorization at the same time of the dip. They had no answers for me and are looking into it. Gabriel, that's crazy. Has anyone else, especially on Charles Schwab, like today, had issues with it, your shares being sold? If so, hang on, something happened on Twitter. Everyone's just saying Twitter. What am I supposed to do? Hang on. Someone said something about Carol responding. You guys said she responded to me? Oh. She said, thanks, Matt. My upcoming book, The War on Small Business, is all about the slanted playing field, decentralization versus central power, and how the little guy, individuals in small biz, keep getting screwed over by the big business government power grab. Glad to lend a voice here. That's sweet. So shout out. So her book is The War on Small Business. It sounds like one I'm interested in reading. All right. Not trying to spread any false narratives here, but I'm just a kid in comments. But I feel like this is about to shoot up into close. Juice World. I very much hope you're right. No, not that tweet. Invite her on. Yeah, I'll try to slide into her DMs. I'll slide in to Ms. Ron's DMs this evening and see if she has some time. Wait, you're saying she tweeted again? I was the one who messed it up? I mean, she is more than welcome on this show. I'll try to connect with her. I'll see what I can do. But if she wants to talk about her book, because the thing with national, like the Charles Payne, they only have so much time. But the beauty of me is I'm going nowhere. I can stand here for hours a day, so it offers more long form content. So someone like her, if she wants to take time to explain more in-depth processes and complexities, this is the platform to do it. That's what's awesome about more of this like podcast thing. Even with when I was on Benzinga, they gave me the time. They gave me 20 minutes, 30 minutes to talk about more complex subjects. And sometimes on national TV, like they're like, you have to get across very complex things in like 2 minutes. That's a challenge. So I think sometimes with this longer form thing, you can unpack interesting things. So I think that's a very, very cool thing. So yeah, if that's something she's into, I'll DM her. I'll shoot her a DM. And if she has the time this week, tomorrow, the next day, whenever, I'll see what her schedule's like. Or if she has interest, I don't know. But I'll invite her on because she seems pretty cool. Stand? What? Chair? Folks, I'm focusing on my own lumbar support. What is going on with AMC? I mean, it's still up 10%. Remember, big picture. In moments when you want to like yell, remember, what is the big picture? Here's the big picture. In pre-market trading, at one point, we were at 46. Remember, big picture, big picture. Don't get lost in the forest because you're up in a tree or whatever that saying is. Something about forests and trees. Wes Christian interview on Fox Business. SEC charges trading firm with naked short selling. Oh, they actually did charge someone with naked short selling? Like already? Hang on, is that an article? I mean, we watched the Fox interview. That's 2012. Were there new ones today? What is today's date? June 7th. My dumb self is still in Robinhood Webull partial stock transfer. Just got rejected. Should I switch to cash account? Thank you. So for a stock transfer, I don't think that's going to have much. I don't think that has much dependence on like the type of account you have. Did it give you a message of why the transfer was declined? That seems odd. Look at the 40 share transactions. I mean, here's the level 2. I see a bunch of hundreds coming across. Melissa Lee tweet says all sides are to blame in this situation. What did Melissa Lee say? Institutional investors are at least as hurt by naked shorts as retail. No one is condoning naked shorting, and yet it does exist. The system that allows this is also culpable. Blame on all sides with real market impacts. Interesting. Interessante. What else is going on? Oh. Let him know I will come on as soon as I get the invitation. That's awesome. Yeah, okay, sweet. I will, yeah, I'll DM her. Oh, wait, is this referring to Charles Payne? That was awesome. Yes, thank you. Back course. Girl, we would love to see you on with. Okay, sweet. So it sounds like she's open to it. Let me write that on down my to-do list, and I'll get in I'll email her, DM her this evening, and get something set up. Now there's just so much more pressure now on the quality of my haircut this evening. An author on my channel? What if she comes on and says, I don't like your haircut that much? How am I emotionally going to bounce back from that one? Or even worse, what if she comes on and says she likes my haircut? How am I emotionally going to ever come down from that high? This is high risk, high reward emotionally for me, folks. High risk, high reward. I play my interviews the way I play my haircuts. Stocks, interviews, and haircuts. All high risk, high reward. What if she comes on with the duck shirt? She would go down as a legend. This is forming an ascending slope to break out in the last 10 minutes of power hour and go bananas. That's from Anthony. Matt, do you think it's possible whales and shorts are in cahoots? Cahoots. Could long sells to weaken increase for covering to protect overall market health? I don't think so. I mean, people like BlackRock who are long on the situation, or Vanguard, they want it to go higher and higher because, like, at the end of the day, greed is going to control what a hedge fund does. Look at it through the lens of how are they going to get maximum profits? I don't think a current long whale would work against themselves because at the end of the day, they are also greedy beasts and that's all they want. So they would want it to go higher and higher. I'm buying puts on your haircut. L. Randall. Melissa Lee versus Carol debate. Matt, you are genuinely talented in both comedy and education. I appreciate that. Or it's just gone like so off the rails and our bar for entertainment has like dropped to the floor that you find enjoyment of a guy who like has somehow made a YouTube career by making fun of himself in a duck shirt, yelling about Wall Street and the inadequacies of our political and economic and societal situation. If your girlfriend gets jealous, just tell her to relax. I signed on to my kid's YouTube so I could like your video twice. Naked likes. High risk. I'm dad. Rich Lightshed. This guy's old company, BTIF, is being sued by the SEC for short selling violations, meaning Rich is a short seller, losing huge on AMC. I wouldn't doubt it. He's also a dude who's publicly said AMC is going to ascend. So it's like, career is being tarnished with such a horrific call. Thanks for all the hard work. Awesome job. The best night shift manager ever. Matt, bring back duck and chair. Standing is making AMC tired. Also, Lou made fun of a woman with a traumatic brain injury. He's trash. Ask Trey if he goes on your show. I'm out. Homer loses money in the stock market. YouTube. We are making a difference. In just 1 week, we've raised the stock of an honestly amazing company, made money, cost the 1% billions, and now we've mainstream media talking about the long broken system that they've ignored. Justin, thank you for your super chat. Ashley, Will they straddle long enough to make up short losses? If they are buying higher puts, will this make them cover somehow? Some of them, it depends per hedge fund. Once again, there's not a general rule. There were some hedge funds that probably got in way, way early, and that's why we know they've been shares on loan for 50 days. And then there's some recent ones. I mean, today alone, there have been 2.25 million shares borrowed against AMC. So each hedge fund is in a different situation of what their margin call is, how they're going to hedge their current risk. Like, there's not one unified rule. Shout out to some new space apes we have, some new youngin space apes, Eli and Dale. I appreciate you hanging out. I hope you're an awesome space ape in training, getting ready for like your first rocket launch. Once again, shout out to Eli and Dale. Matt Kohrs, thoughts on hedge funds using options to pretend to be covering on Ortex data. That's not exactly how it would work. So basically, you could hide a position in terms of like being delta neutral. That is very, very possible, but it would still show up on the shares on loan. Just because you do a fancy call or put thing, it doesn't change the shares on loan. You can hedge yourself in terms of your portfolio P&L up and down. That is definitely possible. But once again, shares on loan are shares on loan. That's not going to be directly impacted by the options market. I see your face on Robinhood recent news for AMC. Yeah, that's just nuts. Hey, I'm happy to be a space ape. I'm happy to potentially be one of the voice of the ape nation. Like I hope I represent your thoughts and feelings well. That's like one of the biggest things I think about. I hope that I make you proud when my voice is being heard for the ape nation. That's my goal. Like I want to come off the way you are truly feeling about what's going on. So like I try to focus on that, and I try to and like I hope it's in line with what I currently feel, because I usually talk about my own opinions and my own thoughts, but I do hope that I'm like representing you and your thoughts well. Matt, I'm invested in AMC through Cash App, and I felt safe for a while. Been in since January 1st. Should I move my money to Fidelity, or am I okay? I don't want to get screwed last minute. Thank you, forehead kisses. I have not been on Cash App, so I can't say really anything positive or negative thing about it. But if we see a repeat of late January, early February, that was the stopping of buying, not the stopping of selling. So if your concern is about selling on Cash App, I don't know if there's really a precedent to have that concern at this moment. But in general, I think it's good to have multiple brokerages just to like help mitigate some of your own risk. So if you haven't already, of course, like don't forget, pinned to the top of chat is Webull. That's what I'm using in front of you. John Covington, is that your real gamer tag? Apes Together Strong. I appreciate the super chat, but is that just a joke? Hugh, your gamer tag? I think Cher is shorting AMC because you kicked him out of stream. Get him back. Remain calm. Let's bounce back in Power Hour. The one thing I've learned, especially over the past 3 weeks with AMC, is when they try to do these scare tactics, if you hold long enough, it bounces back. In the moment, I know it's crappy, but literally look at the last 3 weeks of trading. They try to scare people. It gets to a certain level and makes you feel uneasy. And then given enough time, it bounces back. That's been seemingly the rule for the past couple weeks now. Everyone wants you to look at the Melissa Lee tweet 100. The Melissa Lee tweet. Is there a new Melissa Lee tweet? I've never said retail investors is to blame. The retail investor is to blame. The system effectively allows for market participants to take advantage of loopholes that allow them to engage in the practice. Blame on the system and those who engage in it. Gotcha. Getting a little bit of spicy responses to her answer. A little bit of spice. Oops. Now, this is a story all about how naked shorts brought by AMC down. It looks, I'd like to take a minute to sit right there, get calm, cool, and collected watching Matt Kohrs in chair. Matt's weird pinky. Do hedge funds pay interest on naked shorts? No, because they weren't borrowed. So that's another thing, is they're actually getting shorts for cheaper. Hang on one second. We're going to sit mode for power hour. Stood enough. I stood enough. I could already feel that 6-pack. All right, am I good? Am I good where I need to be? Matt, focus. This is power hour. Bunch of apes. If I switch this, is my audio still the same? Input, filters, 7777. I think that's right. All right, there we go. There we go. Oops. Oops. That was a big Matt. Switching back and forth between Big Matt, Little Matt. Is there a reason why you don't like to talk about the 1K to 100K thesis in your interviews and how it's possible? I believe it encourages apes and new apes to hold. I guess I have acknowledged this. I do acknowledge it in the fact that I don't put a price target on it. I think putting a price target and especially putting a date on things is detrimental. I really do. Because to throw a date on it, you're acting as if the variables aren't changing. We are in a highly dynamic and multivariate situation that changes from minute to minute, hour to hour, day to day. So I don't, it doesn't logically track with me to throw a price target on it, because that's saying that the situation is not dynamic. Theoretically, with every new piece of information, the price target should change. LMAFO, it's on Xbox. A lot of mobile games used to stream, but that was a while back. Now I watch you every day. What's going on, John? That's funny. Your gamer tag. Hey, Matt, how long does it usually take for shorts to Fiverr last week, and could we squeeze this week? I mean, we could squeeze on a moment's notice. Definitely possible. We could definitely squeeze one. It's just squeezing occurs when there's enough shorts, naked shorts or legitimate shorts. Squeezing occurs when the price gets to a level that they've hit the risk tolerance, so they choose to cover. That pushes up the stock a little bit more, which causes another short to cover. It's this high octane velocity, high octane volatility environment where a lot of shorts all decide to cover. And obviously, I don't have the exact number for you right here. I was saying it earlier this morning. I thought 70 to 75 was interesting because we're going to see a lot more market maker hedging there in terms of a gamma squeeze. And from there, if we go high enough, it could trigger a legitimate short squeeze. So what we're looking for is, I don't have the exact number, but the higher we go, the closer we are to that breaking point of where there's just like a massive squeeze upward. Matt, can we go back on the 1 minute chart? Yes. I think sometimes when I watch the 1 minute, the reason I switched is because if we're so honed in on a time frame, it can look discouraging. So that's why, like, if I just focus on this, that doesn't look the best. And I get that there's a certain emotional appeal. That's why I went to the 15 minutes, so you can see where we've come over even the past 2 to 3 days. I don't want to be like honed in on like a 30-minute period of pure selling, and that, because I could see how that's a bit discouraging. So I always remember, when in doubt, zoom out. Understand where we've been, understand where we're going. Don't get bogged down in the minutia of a 1 hour move. How are these naked stocks created? It's not a naked stock, it's a naked short. A naked short is when a hedge fund takes a short position and the prime broker never ever located the shares for them to borrow. Because to short, you have to borrow the shares from someone. So the prime broker gives the A-OK, go ahead, take a short, we're going to allow it. And then the prime broker never ever located those shares that should have been borrowed. Hence, the short, which maybe at first seems like a legitimate short, then becomes naked if the prime broker never ever located it. Naked shorts are not reported within the Ortex shares number. Is that correct? Yes, that is correct. By the definition, naked shorts aren't reported anywhere because like they just shouldn't have had it. By the definition, they never ever borrowed the shares, so that's not going to be reported. How long will inflation affect the market? I'm reading reports that there's negative inflation data. It could drive down the market. I mean, if our inflation starts to go haywire, yeah, that's a fair assumption that it will drive the market down. But also understand, I don't know if there's I don't think it will really have that big of an impact, in my opinion, on AMC and GME. That's more of like your indices and your blue chip stocks that like you have to track the inflation information for. I know this sounds hypocritical, but please turn off super chats so people buy AMC instead. This is money that could be used towards the cause. I get where you're coming from, David, but it's people's free will decisions. They can choose. I've never ever asked for a super chat. I no way expect super chats. If you're out there and you don't want to send in a super chat and you'd rather keep it in your account, buy AMC. Awesome. I think that's super cool. But David, I think you're a little bit off base with where you're coming from. You have to understand that a big part of this movement is people being tired of other people telling them what they should do with their money. And right now, that's what you're engaging in. You're engaging in telling people what to do with their money. The last time someone said like this, like literally out of pure troll nature, more tips came in because people don't like to be told what to do with their money. These people are adults. They fully understand if they want to tip, they can. If they want to buy AMC, they can. The entire point, I shouldn't say the entire point, a big aspect of this current movement is people, and I don't think you intentionally meant this. I think you truly are an ape, but you have to understand the emotional line that you're really, really teetering on. The whole concept is people not telling other people to do with their money. It's their money, they're adults. They should be able to do what they want with it. Is there a limit to how many legitimate shorts can be borrowed? Is there a limit to how many naked shorts can be created? Technically, there should be 0 naked shorts ever. They're illegal. There should be 0, but there's more than that. So the limit's 0, and we exceed that limit. In terms of legitimate shorts, yeah, the limit at any moment in time, the maximum is how much people are willing to loan their shares out. So the more people willing to loan their shares out, the higher the shorts can go, because it's all about how many people are willing to lend shares out. David McCollum, he doesn't represent all Davids. Take my money. Here's proof. Super chat squeeze 2.0. I'll tip what I want when I want. Can you explain dark pools? Dark pools are another trading venue. So you have the New York Stock Exchange, the NASDAQ, the IEX. They're all exchanges. That's a venue. A venue is where a buyer and a seller, like that trade is facilitated. It connects buyers and sellers. That's a venue. So like I said, the NYSE, the NASDAQ, the IEX, that's a venue. Another venue is what's referred to as a non-ATS, a non-alternative trading system. That's Citadel Securities. It's a retail wholesaler. So basically, you execute a trade on Robinhood, and it right away, instead of getting routed to the New York Stock Exchange, the NASDAQ, it gets routed to Citadel Securities, and they are first offered the opportunity to play the other side of that trade. That's another type of venue, a non-ATS. So if there's a non-ATS, there's also an ATS, an alternative trading system, aka a dark pool. In theory, a dark pool is what it's meant to do. Is it's basically run by like all these big banks. Credit Suisse has one, UBS. I think UBS has the biggest, and it facilitates the trading of large block orders. And the intent is to not really mess with the market. If there's a huge buy order or huge sell order, like think about like a multi-billion-dollar pension, usually these big banks execute it on that to not like really mess with the market. Like they'll have a buyer, a seller, and the trade will go through without like drastically changing the market. The way they're set up, a dark pool, they get that connotation because it's a dark pool. Like they have less regulations, and because they have less regulations, they're also supposed to trade less volume because the data is not as publicly available as people would like it to be, hence the name. So overall, an ATS, aka a dark pool, a non-ATS, such as a retail wholesaler, such as Citadel Securities, and an actual exchange, New York Stock Exchange, NASDAQ. All of those, the bigger name is a venue. They're all venues. They just connect buyers and sellers. So very particularly about a dark pool, and like this could be a multi-hour discussion of what is a dark pool. It's another venue where trades, buyers and sellers are facilitated, and it has less transparency, hence the name dark pool. They have like less SEC oversight. David, what you don't understand is that Matt invests all super chats into tulips, long on tulips. Turn off your lights, use the electricity money to buy more AMC. Preach it, Matt. What is a super chat? This is how I buy AMC. I do what I want. Just because of what David said in giving to a super chat, let's go. Don't tell me what to do with my money. Let's go, Matt. Love you, brother. This is America. Take my money, Matt. Thanks for taking my riches, Matt. Matt, this is my 4th super chat. Weeble is dirty. Hear my story. I have document to prove. Don't let apes get burned for super chat. Wally, feel free to DM me that on Twitter if you want to have an additional conversation. Going to trigger a super chat short squeeze for Matt. Hello, super chat margin call here just because. I don't want to super chat, Paul. Will never happen, but given 50% of shorts, the league ones are covered at the same time. That would be calculated stock price at that moment. Yeah, but don't forget, that could also trigger a gamma squeeze. It could trigger naked shorts to cover, and it could also trigger FOMO buying. So because of those other 3 things, shorts themselves don't live in a vacuum. They do have other implications, triggering other forms of buying pressure. Here we go again. David is the new Justin. So don't support the man who put everyone on. Shake my head. Correct me if I'm wrong. You mentioned Ortex gets data from prime brokerages. Those are possibly the same guys naked shorting AMC. Is Ortex really that reliable? Keep up the great work. I would personally argue that Ortex is one of the most reliable sources because the way it's all done is they're just reporting the shares that were facilitated loaning. A prime broker connects someone who's willing to loan and someone who's willing to borrow. They're just like the intermediary. And the issue is more of the prime broker of like when showing shorts and it's not, they're not properly borrowed. That's the issue, but we already know those aren't reported. No one is taking the position that Ortex is providing the naked short data to us. We all know they're not, because by definition, naked shorts aren't reported. That's part of this issue, is we don't know how big or how out of hand they are. We know it weeks, potentially months later, when the SEC kind of shifts through all the trades and what's going on. It takes way, way too long to really dive into naked shorts. But once again, to be very clear on this, Ortex is not reporting naked short information. They are not reporting naked short information. They are reporting verifiable, legitimate short information. If naked shorts aren't reported and hidden, what would cause them to cover? Oh, the fact that they're just down so much money. Like, it's just that they're going to see how bad the position is and they're going to like, oh, we need to cover before this gets out of hand. They don't have an infinite amount of capital to continue with a margin call. Why don't you explain that naked short is a legal practice? Meet Kevin did. It's not. It's an illegal practice. Naked shorting is not legal in any form or manner. It is illegal. Mob 1. Why don't you explain that naked shorted is a legal practice? It's not. I don't explain that naked shorting is a legal practice because it's not. It's an illegal practice. Matt, if you were all in on AMC and had 5K in AMC right now, what is the best way to grow your money? Ride it out or take out and buy calls? Well, it's higher risk, higher reward. You'd be risking some of those profits, but at the potential of making more. So it comes down to how confident are you personally? I know how confident I am. That's why I continue to buy. That's why I put another 50K into AMC this morning. But that's my own confidence. You should not be trading, buying, or selling by anything I do or say. I am trying to narrate the current situation to the best of my ability, but I'm not a financial advisor. You are in charge of your own money. That's, I guess, a thing David and Justin seem to not understand. Is people are in charge of their own money. That's a big psychological aspect of what we're fighting for right now. Of course, we're fighting for market fairness and transparency, but we're also fighting for this elitist viewpoint of, I know what's best for you, do what I say. It's no, whatever. I want to do what I want to do. It's my money. I earn my money. I'm going to do with it what I please. Matt, can you confirm that all Super Chats proceeds are going to Oh Brother Tulip Foundation? Some random. Quite a bit of these Super Chats are going to Oh Brother Tulip Foundation, but quite a bit of it is going directly into AMC and Tesla. Hey, Matt, glad to be a part of the Ape Nation. Why aren't these big institutions adding more to their long positions? Are they not aware of the short squeeze? Would this type of pressure be a catalyst? Fong, this is a great question. They actually might be, but because of the way 13Fs are filed, you don't find out till later. There is a chance that Vanguard and BlackRock added to their position for all we know, but you don't know until the quarterly filings. Hey, Matt, love the content. I know this isn't AMC related, but what are your thoughts on NVIDIA? It seems like after today's run-up, there's some FUD going on about not asking for financial advice. I am very bullish on the long-term future of NVIDIA. I think it's one of the best GPU makers out there. It's considered to be the gold standard for processing chips. I think it's a great company. They have a great product. I'm very, very bullish on the long-term nature of NVIDIA. Meet Kevin read directly from the SEC.gov site that naked shorts are legal. Check out this video. I'll have to check it out, but I think there might be a little bit of a misunderstanding. Naked shorting has been illegal ever since 2008, 2009. If you just Google naked short right now, it's going to say illegal practice. So I don't know specifically where you saw it. Naked option positions are illegal, but that's just kind of a misunderstanding of like what options are and how the options. That just means you don't have the underlying asset. Naked options, very different than naked shorting. Naked shorting is illegal. So when you guys like the data or text is touted as divine word, then some shorts cover, some not all. You're questioning it, can't have both. I'm not questioning it. Andrew, I see your point. I very much, I have no reason to think that Ortex's data is inaccurate. I admit it's not the full picture. I admit it's not covering any information related to naked shorts. But for the 85% of the legal picture that they give to us, I very, very much trust Ortex. First super chat, thanks David. Also hit the like. Apes, if we own 80% of the float, where are representation on AMC board? I nominate you and Trey. Kyle, technically our representation would actually be all of our voting. It's a shareholder vote. That's our representation right there. Prayers for Trey. Here we go. We need to create a TikTok challenge. Buy one, hold one. 1 million challengers, 1 million holders. Please read this. Matt, I have a couple $40 calls expiring June 18th. Would you roll those into calls for a later date at this time or before the day of? June 18. If I were you, but I'm a higher risk reward trader. So with that in mind, if I were you, I would still swing it till next week, but I need to make that very clear. I'm a higher risk reward trader. That's just how I would do it. I don't know your risk tolerance. I think the dude who tried to tell me how to spend my money should worry about his and not their pockets. Mine are fine. Don't tell me what to do with my money. Keep up the good work. Matt, is there any significance level 2 order book looking light on orders? You're going to see more, like, I guess, lightness when the stock is more volatile. Market makers don't have to provide as much liquidity when there's already a lot of volume being traded and a high amount of volatility. They just provide less liquidity because the market itself, like stock market participants, are then providing the liquidity. Matt, I want a number 5. This is a Wendy's, right? Matt, you are appreciated, man. I pop my AirPods in during market hours and listen to your stream all day, every day. Let's do this. I have no idea why I'm sending a super chat, but I heard Justin change his name to David. Is that true? Matt, get your hand out of my pockets. This is for chair. Is Cash App one of them? A dark pool, 300 shares, AMC, help. Is Cash App one? Cash App is a brokerage, not a dark pool. Some people are blessed enough to be able to afford both super chats and shares. Thank you, Matt, for all the valuable education, keeping new apes calm and helping to create new apes. Pace, brother. Just sold AMC stock to send the super chat. Just kidding. Bought a share for David and a super chat for Matt. We can all win here. Great job, David. Now I have to pay Matt, freaking Justin. I have one issue with people telling me what to do. So here you go, brother. Guess it does that happen when it worked for yourself. Power hour, my dumb money gets spent. Now I want to spend it. What does a super chat do? LOL. On AMC, please. I think this is how it works. Thanks, David. If the prime brokerages are equally at fault at the hedge funds, then in this, what stops them from helping hedge funds win, not charging them interest fees? So brokerages want to charge interest fees. That's how they make money. They make money by loaning out the shares, like facilitating the loaning and also executing on trades. Do you think that Hedge kicked off systematic selling at 2 p.m., way oversold right now after a steady moving up? Thoughts? Yeah, someone tried to throw something at us, basically. Throw in bearish momentum to scare people. It definitely looks like that. But right now, even if the market were to close, we are up 12%. If the market were to close right now, there's no way to interpret this day besides a win for us. Any green day, any neutral day is clearly a win on an intraday basis. When in doubt, zoom out. But we shouldn't be complaining about a 12% gain day. That's a 12% gain day. What's AMC? I'm here for the jokes. How can we win them when the rules are different for them compared to us? I feel like I'm being robbed. Bought at 66. Mark, that's the big sentiment that we're all arguing about right now, is like, what's the point of this game when it's clearly tilted in the favor of the inside crowd? That's a big part of what we're fighting for. I don't have anything to say. Do you think that hedge funds may have started borrowing from brokers that don't feed data to Ortex, knowing we use it so much? Matthew, that's a very, very good point. They could have purposely started using the other 15% that they don't cover to hide it. Yeah, that's definitely a possibility. Matt, as a fellow mustache wearer, what we really get the hedgies shaking in their wedgies is a slick, bald fade and robust stashes for stonks. Did you see the interview with Kevin O'Leary on CNBC? He's becoming an ape and invested in AMC too. I mean, I try to reach out to him. I try to get Kevin O'Leary's attention. I would love for him to come on the show and explain some of his insights into how hedge funds are pulling this stuff off. Hang on, I'm still behind on these things. Hang on, we're gonna get to these. Well, I'm very behind. Hang on. Matt, let's make dumb money. Dave is a jabroni. Can you explain the difference between a wick and a body, or dare I call it a shaft of the candle? Yeah. So the body is the open and the close. It's red if the close is below the open. It's green if the close is above the open. The wick is the high and the low within that particular time frame. Darth Hedgie, I will make it legal. Exactly. My dad and his friends said I was an idiot for buying AMC, so I put my entire savings into it, and now I'm a massive potential gain. Tempest Gaming, congratulations. Matt, take my dumb money. Kevin King, thank you for your super chat. To the moon, please. I'm a little ape all the way. Years from now, I can't wait to watch Moas at my mother of all short squeezes at my local AMC with my family being able to exactly what the timeline. Let's effing go. Super chats towards duck shirts. Plenty of us, multiple things to do with our money. Awesome interview on Benzinga, Matt. You nailed it. Hey, I appreciate that. I just hope, once again, I'm making you guys proud. I hope you view me to be like a fair voice of this movement. I hope I'm properly echoing your thoughts and concerns and dissatisfaction with the way things are going. Stop being so positive and educating us daily. You suck. Rico rocks. Hey, Dave, here's one for you. Psych, it's all for Matt. Keep up the great work. Hey, Matt. While we are in this lull, can you show us your top technical pattern you watch for? I like to look for bullish or bearish divergence in the RSI, which is basically when you make a new high and the RSI doesn't. That would be bearish divergence, or you make a new low and the RSI doesn't. That'd be bullish divergence. So that's an RSI pattern. And in terms of charting, I love looking for the cup and handle. French toast is better than waffles. Trey's keyboard. I agree with that. David Schmavid. I know that smell reeks of Justin. Take my last $10. All I have since wifey left me for her boyfriend. You deserve it. SEC just charged someone for illegal naked shorts. How do we find out who it was and they charged? What can happen now? Stephanie, if you have a link to that or something, send it my way. So did the SEC just charge someone? Holy Toledo, Matt, could SEC eventually limit short shares based on a total company stock? I mean, they can make, I guess, whatever rules they want, technically. What is a 4245B filing and how does it underwrite or benefit? Jacob, are you referring to the AMC prospectus? That's when basically they find agents such as B. Riley, Goldman Sachs to sell new shares to the market to raise money. It's referred to as an at-the-market offering. I think that's what you're referring to. Why don't naked shorts get exposed in a share count? So this is a little bit of a theory of mine. I've never worked at a private company that does share recounts, so I don't know where they would and wouldn't catch it. But I think it's more because of the aspect of naked shorts are just not reported. Prime brokers give the A-OK, take the short, they never find the shares, it's not reported. So I think it's a lack of data. But once again, that is more of a theory of mine. I've never worked at one of these companies that does it. Oh, David has come back with a super chat. $250 from David. Try and beat this tip. True ape here. Not trying to tell people what to do with their money, just trying to help the cause. Sorry for the impression. I've already made hella money on AMC. Still in. I guess the line's in the sand. David, that was insanely generous of you. Matt, second super chat here. Just to clarify, I wasn't saying you're questioning Ortex, just some of our fellow apes. Oh, Andrew, yeah. No, I guess I got that connotation when I read it of like, you can't have it both ways. I think you're pointing out how when Ortex is giving us data that we all like, everyone loves it. And then when it gives us data that we don't like, people turn on it. Like you can't have it both ways. You either have to like it across the board or you have to dislike it across the board. In terms, maybe not liking and disliking, but in more of terms of, do you trust it? I trust it when it's good. I trust it when it's bad. I think it's giving us accurate data. Just to reiterate what you're saying, Andrew. What is roll an option, Matt? It's when you close your current option position and you open another one right away at a further expiration date to give yourself like continued exposure to the play. You just want additional time. Haircut, shave it. Be a diamond head. Love your show, Matt. Hey, I appreciate that. What's your view on 005? Hope you reply this time. Mark, it depends what 005 you're talking about. We are running with the NSCC 005, the OCC, and the ICC. There's a different 05s. And then sometimes people are confusing the 005 with the 805. Lots of different rules that I think are getting confused. Gary, beating out David. David, hold my beer. $300 from Gary. Gary, this is going to get out of hand. I can already feel it. I appreciate that. This support is definitely, it's appreciated, but by no means is it expected. Super chat raid, LOL. Is the Ortex short information from trading 2 days ago? Today, Ortex data is 6.4. No. It is live data. All of Ortex is live. It's up to date. It is live, but just understand the mechanics of to return a share. Those were actually returned today, but that means at the earliest, they were shorts that covered 2 days ago. But all of Ortex is up to date info of like what is going on right now. But it's a weird concept to actively return today. It means they actually had it covered 2 days ago. So the only thing that's a little bit weird in terms of the 2-day thing is this: return shares. They were returned today. Yes, this is live information, but it has the insinuation that it was a short that was covered at earliest 2 days ago. They could have covered 3 days ago, 4 days ago, 5 days ago, whatever, but at the earliest 2 days ago. But borrowed shares, 2.34 million were borrowed today. Everything is up to date. It's inaccurate to think that some of this information is old when it's not. Like, they were actually returned today, but it gives you an insinuation of what happened 2 days ago, and that's just for return shares. And remember, you can return shares without them being short. You can easily borrow shares, never take the short, and give them back. That is definitely possible. Should I take myself to Chick-fil-A and then watch a movie at AMC? Not financial advice. From Florida, as just life advice, I would say yes. And also ask for extra sauce. They never give you enough sauce. Hey, Matt, I have so much extra money from AMC stonks. Enjoy a $5 on me, not financial advice. Quack, quack, boom, boom, ride the rocket to the moon. I missed the last super chat. Squeeze, I'm not going to miss this one. Who is the nerd that told me to do it? What to do with my cash? Can we get a petition against naked shorting trending possible to find on my Twitter? I mean, it's already illegal. We're basically just fighting for the current law to be enforced. Thank you. So far turned 6K to over 200K in a couple months. As someone named David, can you stop dragging my name through the mud? My grandfather had a saying, when at first you don't succeed, keep sucking until you do succeed. YOLO mofo. Matt, thanks for all you do. Your AMC analysis is excellent. I'm from Austria, and the gay community has taken a great liking to you. Hey, that's very kind. I appreciate all the support. Much love to every community out there. As if you're an ape, you're good in my book. Tony H with a 301-cent super chat. Is my money good here? A Toyota Corolla can get 19.2 miles on this chat. Howdy, Matt. I bought 20 $60 calls today for the 11th, and there are down substantial amount of money. What would Jesus do? Nathan Prince. I mean, we're still up. It's still trending in our favor. I would continue to hold. I think that's what Jesus would do. But I mean, I know I have an ego, but I don't have enough ego to speak for Jesus. Love all you apes. Great job, Matt. Keep it up. Frank with that 99.99. 99.99. You know how coming back to Dr. Disrespect, how he has that system that monitors chats, and then it's like the robot of like massive super chat. Like, you might want to acknowledge it. I need one of those, but instead it'll be Rich Greenfield's voice. SEC.gov news press release 2021-1994. I think this was everyone is talking about. Only thing posted by the SEC today. All right. All things gaming. I appreciate you posting that. Let me check it out. SEC charges couple with insider trading on confidential clinical trial data. Rutro, Raggy, they caught someone. Rutro, they caught us. Hey, from the UK, do you have a duck clothing line in the works? Love your content, dude. Big ups. Oh, sorry. The thing above my head right now is a crypto thing. I was off by one. I meant to have this. Yeah, there is some of your duck, ape, and tiger-based clothing on moongangmerch.com. Hey, Matt, needs some advice, but not financial advice. I've been hodling 15 call option strike at 1050 premium, 193 next week. I exercise my option or roll them if we don't moon by them. Okay, when do you have it? Next week. Gabe, okay, so yours are next week, June 18th. You are at so you're already up quite a bit. If I were you, I strongly believe that, I mean, even now, this is what we were talking about. Remember earlier today of how like the golden rule I've learned about AMC recently is when they try to freak people out, if you just give it enough time, it bounces back. I still personally believe, and I'm not a fortune teller, I'm not a financial advisor, I still strongly believe we are winning this fight. I strongly believe that the chart is trending in our direction. Of course, we're going to kind of sway back and forth, but overall, the major trend is in our favor. I'm still feeling pretty good about it. But another 2 shares now, 2 shares just now. Let's get that rocket ship. I'm holding 1,990 shares. That's awesome. Alex becoming an astronaut. Hi from the UK. Question. Okay, yeah, we did that. The duck shirt. Regular Jesus died for our sins. Chicks dig him. Greg Jesus. Bit judgy, to be honest. What's going on, Burns? Remember, are we top of the hill or only halfway there? David becoming an astronaut. Jesus had holy hands. Changed my mind. He couldn't hold this long. I like it. Look at the volume on Friday compared to it today. Is it questionable that we're not getting a volume of 500? So remember, it's very, very difficult to sustain that type of trading for an extended amount of period. It's referred to as volume exhaustion. It happens all the time. It's honestly expected. So look for the volume to come down, base, and then potentially run up again on any major breakouts. Matt, I think they try to scare us with talks of inflation. Little do they know we already are dead inside waiting for our true tendies. Hey, Matt, remember when we were when our tits were jacked for a 25-cent gain? Yeah, I mean, I do. Remember where we've come, folks. Like, this is such an incredible run. We're winning. We are hashtag winning right now. We are up 15% on the day. I don't want you guys to be negative Nancy's. Don't be a glum Greg. We're up 15% in a battle against hedge funds, Wall Street, and shorts. Any green is good. Any neutral is good. Man, I'm going to come to your house if you're being like negative about this. This is a green day. We've made money. Shorts have lost money. That's the fight. We are winning the current round. If every day's trading were a round, we are winning this round and we are winning the overall fight. Throw back to the time I bought at $70. My birthday is July 8th. What do you feel a good option is for 7-9? Can I send you an Uber Eats credit? Richard, that's all good. So for 7-9, I don't know. I guess for the 7-9s, I'd be tempted to get like the 75s. Evan Toledo becoming a space ape. Matt, my wife was super mad about my first stonk purchase, but with all the gains, she's super happy now. P.S. She watches you with me. That's awesome. Bad Spence, shout out to you and your wife, who is a space ape. 2 space apes in the house. Hey, Matt, can you talk a bit about a bear put spread strategy, which is reported in the media, used by more and more investors in AMC? How will that affect us? Initially, it will have no effect. So what a bear put spread is it's buying a put, but then it's also hedging your put position, which is a bearish bet, by buying a further put, buying a put, and then selling one farther out of the money. So in this case, a bear put spread could be buying a $50 put and then selling a $45 put. That would be a bear put spread. So it's a bearish bet. It's a hedged bearish bet. When you first place it, the same thing as basing a bullish bet, it has no immediate impact on the market, but it does have an impact if the stock starts to trend in that manner, because it involves market makers leveraging up and deleveraging certain situations, their own hedge. Bad Spence becoming an astronaut. I'll assume that's for both you and your wife. Shout out. Throwback to the time everyone said $20 was the peak. Good point. Matt, how do How about making? I don't know about that token, Wade, so I'd have to look into it. another amazing day of exploding with subscribers. Shout out to all the new subscribers. Shout out to all of the old subscribers. The last time I checked, we were at 260,000. We're now at 272,000. That is downright phenomenal. The numbers that the Ape Nation is providing, like the views, the subs across the board, not just for me, but for your other favorite AMC like content people such as Trey Trades. Shout out. Not only he's a colleague, but he's a good friend of mine. Trey and I talk like at this point daily. Like I think he started making the joke, but it is like kind of oddly true. We're basically like just middle school girls of like, what are we doing today? How was your day? How was my day? What are we thinking for tomorrow? It's weird, but that's life as a middle 20-year-old male on YouTube. Is apparently now I just resort to talking to other 20-year-old men on YouTube daily. It's weird, but it's my life now and I love it. But overall, the numbers that we've seen, the support, the love, it's crazy. I would literally put this community up against any other community on the internet. I'm not saying we're perfect, but I am saying we are pretty close to it. Matt Stay Jack to the teats made $100K off of my $40 calls for 618 last Wednesday. Took 67 houses profits and bought 35 calls last Thursday at 1,900 a piece for $100 strike. 618 currently down 40K, but I'm a dumb ape and waiting patiently for these gammas. Your thoughts? I mean, when I was on Benzinga this morning, that was one of the things I pointed out. Right now, it's trending in our favor. We are winning this current round, as in the day. We are also winning the fight. On a bigger picture, once we hit that $70, $75 mark, the way we broke out of, like, I was calling for 1450 of above that, like, look for the stock to rip. And fortunately, that was seemingly an accurate prediction. I mean, not long after that, we saw 72. I think now when that break above 70, 75, this thing, it's just going to be a rocket, a shooting star. Like, this is just going to be, it's going to prompt a black hole that just sucks in hedge fund money. Their money is just going to disappear overnight. My prediction of that breakout is 70, 75 on AMC. When we see that event, it's the singularity that's going to hurt hedge funds. It's the black hole that will be soaking in all of their money. And on the other side of the black hole is us dumb money, us apes, just making more and more of it. We won the battle today, but the war isn't over yet. Very, very good point. Please, with gains like this, it's easy to get cocky. It's easy to get ahead of yourself, and it's easy to underestimate your opponent and assume that you won. Battle it out the same as you have every single day. We have to take it day to day. That's how this stock is operating right now. That's all it is. Don't once you start underestimating your opponent, that's probably when, like, you might be at your most, I guess, defenseless is a good way to think of it. Do not, every single day, we are fighting against a well-funded, politically, financially motivated opponent who is not dumb. Do not underestimate it. Take it day to day, take the wins, battle the losses, and keep fighting the fight. Matt, this group seems to follow the trail of naked shorts. Tagged you on Twitter to check out the data. I have not had the chance to check and certify the numbers myself. And thank you for sharing that. Kohrs Con. Matt, just so you know, I could set up alerts for that. Vigilant? Yeah, I'm going to be responding. Why do I keep doing this? I'm going to be responding to your Discord DMs, just so you know, tonight. I just need some time, but I appreciate the assistance. Matt, will you also be diving into other tickers that have higher shortages than AMC and GME? I will, but I also want to target ones that seem to have like a community following. Matt, here by this bottle of wine. It's empty and has none in it, but I'll tell you that there's wine in it. Kohrs Con. GME looking good. Pushing. Can you talk about how and why options are so pricey and help people understand how theta kills them and buying out of the money calls expiring this week? Yeah. So why options are so pricey right now? Options are priced by three main things: the value of the stock that it's tracking, its underlying asset, the time until expiration, and also volatility of the stock. Right now, AMC and GME are highly volatile stocks, so they're very expensive. What was your second question? Theta, every single day you own an option. Every single minute you swing it, every night you swing it to the next day, you're battling theta. It's referred to theta decay. What it is if you look at the theta value, which will be available to you when you own it on whatever, Webull, Robinhood, whatever, wherever you own it, theta, that value that you see is how much your option loses value if everything else were held constant, if you hold it till the next day. Every single day you own an option, it's losing value. And it makes sense because every day you own it has less time to do something crazy. So they're pricing that in. It's kind of, I don't know, it's part of the Black-Scholes model, the options pricing model. But basically, the less time you have, the less chance you have of a crazy move. So it becomes less and less valuable. And what was the third one? And buying out of the money options expiring this week. Oh, so out of the money options for that week are it's a high risk to reward play. It's a very high risk to reward play. And the reason is because you're out of the money, which means the current stock isn't close to it. And if you have less time until expiration, that means you have less time for it to move into your favor. But if it does rapidly go into the money, you're going to make a lot of money. But just remember, the highest risk reward play to play an option is the closest expiration and the farthest out of the money. That's the highest risk to reward play to play an option. But once again, I need to stress how high risk it is. Yes, you can knock it out of the park, but even take a look at me on Friday. I did that. I played a high risk reward option on Friday expiring that day, and I lost $50,000. When I think about it, it makes me nauseous. It sucks, but there is a considerable amount of risk to it. Someone is saying refresh. Why is my Webull? Why is it just like getting caught like that? So GME is continuing to run 279. AMC is at 55, which is up 14.5%. Man, look at that recovery on GameStop. Sorry, I didn't know that my Webull was freezing there. Shout out. Thank you for that heads up, Ryan. I saw your message. I can't float a check until payday, so why can they float shares until payday? Very, very good question. Any update on Trey on possible surgery? I'm not in the position to share information about Trey. I can comment on things he said publicly, but I mean, I have a personal friendship with him, and I can't share info. I don't have the right to share any of his personal information. We can chat about anything he says publicly, but just so you know, like it's a sobering reminder that we all have our things going on. I don't know. I hang out with you guys in chat. I don't know what you're battling at night. I don't know what your life is like. I don't know if your life is spectacular. I don't know if you're going through something really, really heavy, but it's a sobering reminder to understand that like every person right now engaging in chat, we all have our own baggage. And maybe you need those sobering reminders to, hey, maybe sometimes you have to give a human the benefit of the doubt because you don't know what they're going through. You just don't. You don't know how tough life is for someone, and we all have our own things, and it's a good reminder to just be human. Treat other humans like humans. if a quarter of America bought, if a quarter of the American population bought 7 shares, we would own the float. I got 600. So let's just keep adding to that. What's going on, Mac? That's awesome. Hey, Matt, can we get some TA to close out the day? Yeah, overall, it was just a bounce. We bounced off of the low of 51, and now we're kind of running into this support, which is now resistance at 55. So earlier today, I marked out 55 and 57.5, and that's it. We're just now battling at 55, and it looks like we're just coasting into that. So not like too much crazy stuff to be said. We shot up, we're now flagging, and we're just coasting flat at 55. I'm a new ape and in for the hold. Thank you for your shared knowledge and education. Hey, that's what I'm here for. Matt, could law enforcement get a warrant to force sellers to show the depth of naked shorts? How can the market find discovery for true naked count? Please read Astra $50 super chat. Apes deserve my wife's naked. So, all right, I'll have to find that one, Chris. That's the SEC's duty, is to like dive into the naked shorts. They have the capability of doing that. Hang on. I'm trying to find the Astra one. I don't see that, unfortunately. Oh, is this it? Matt, you killed it today. Apes see HOL on the move. Astra Rockets just bought 50 million electric propel system today. IPO Astra June 26th. This is a lawful 100K move. Thanks, Ape family. It's a good times. Hodl 11K shares to the moon. So for me, I try to avoid new IPOs. I'm a very technical trader, as in I want the chart to develop so I can see the support and the resistance. There, we're cruising. I need some drink. I'm talking too much. Kudos for having values and ethics regarding sharing info. I mean, I feel like that's the only way to build a brand, is just to be like painfully honest. And I kind of look at it in social media is if you're always honest and lying, there's honest and not lying. There's nothing to have to track ever. Like you just always tell the truth, and you don't have to worry about like ever, I don't know, like contradicting yourself. And like, I think people have a weird sixth sense for honesty. So as long as you remain authentic to yourself, people resonate with that. Matt, give my boy John M a shout out, who's a fellow ape. Josh, shout out to you and your boy John M, 2 apes. All right, we're closing with a little bit of strength here. Let's see if we can close above 55. A nice little psychological win. Ding, ding, ding. The market is closed. Not really. There's extended hours trading, but all right, hang on one second. All right. So what happened today? According to Webull, let me just double check this. According to Webull, the stock closed at 54.86, which was a gain of 14.51%. GME closed at 280, which was a gain of 12.71%. Don't forget, what is today's date? GME does have an earnings announcement this week, June 9th, so be on the lookout for that. That is a fundamental catalyst. All that good stuff. Okay, so once all of the final Ortex data loads in for the day, I will be making an update video and I'll post it. Depending on what else is going on, I might post 2 separate update videos tonight. Wait, everyone's saying 55. Oh wait, is it just loading? Like sometimes Webull is a bit slow to load it in. So that's another reason why I just wait a little bit for the data to get loaded for me to make the update video. So some people are saying 55, which it sounds like it's right. So that's awesome. We're right at that. And we're actually above 55 in post-market already. So very, very good stuff. We won, like, there's absolutely no reason to be like in any form negative today. The stock gained 14.5%. So relative to Friday, the shorts are down another 14.5%. They're paying the cost to borrow. We won the battle. We've been winning the war. It's that simple. GME had a very good day as well, coming out of nowhere, up 12%. I shouldn't really say nowhere. It's been trending upward. But don't forget about the earnings announcement. I will be posting the update video this evening. Maybe I'll be posting two. So if you're a subscriber, don't forget to have your notifications turned on. Click on that bell icon, switch it to always, and you should get notified whenever I post anything. Shout out to all the new subscribers today. We are cruising 272,000. So a special shout out to all the new subscribers. Shout out to all the returning subscribers. I truly appreciate the continued support. You guys are the best. Overall, my failsafe in case I ever get kicked off YouTube again is on Twitch. So if you look above my head, Matt_Kohrs, that's Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. So if you're a Twitch person, make sure to give that a follow. Just so that's the fail-safe. If you don't have the time to stream with me throughout the day, any major developments, I am tweeting out. So check that out on Twitter. But all my social media is Matt_Kohrs. Just so you know, there are fake Matt Kohrs accounts. There's a plethora of them on YouTube. There's some on Twitter. There's some on Instagram. Do not fall for that. Do not send anyone money. I don't have a WhatsApp. I'm not on WhatsApp. All of that stuff, don't fall for it. It would break my heart to see anyone in the ape community getting scammed. I very, very much don't want you to get scammed. So just know I am Matt_Kohrs. And especially on YouTube, if I'm responding to you, I'm a verified account. I should have a check mark. And if it's on one of my own videos, my name will have a different coloring. I'll be highlighted. And I don't know why YouTube isn't better at like getting rid of these fake accounts, but they're just not. It sucks. But please don't get scammed. So overall, today it's clearly a win. We won today. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. We are setting up for a very good day tomorrow, and let's just come back tomorrow and see how it pans out. But overall, thank you very, very much for even spending a second of your day with me. This is the ape community. This is the Moon Gang. The support has been phenomenal. And I'll catch you later in the update videos. And then I'll see you streaming bright and early 9 a.m. tomorrow. I'm not going anywhere. I'm planning on streaming the entire day. And I'll see if we can get Carol Roth to come in. We'll see her availability and her time and everything. But thank you so much, and I'll see you tomorrow. From me and Cher, don't forget, best of luck in the markets.